Gotta show him I can still rap though. I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got $1 for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a one-on-one. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Gotta show him I can still rap though. Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got $1 for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me come. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car take it tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. In the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been, could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green.
Let's take a 3-week hiatus.
I'm fucking
We talked about, man.
bitch.
It was 2
Fuck
weeks.
you.
And guess what? Yo, shout out to the chat because we are back and we are live. It is the next podcast. What is going on, people? I hope you are having a great Thursday. Yo, I apologize if you missed us last week. I really do. Unfortunately, stuff is happening in my personal life with my mom and all that good stuff, and I really I really couldn't go live and be as prepared as I usually am.
No, it wasn't that. He had a
laughing.
girl for. That's what it was. He had a girl, and he
Dude,
had to
I ain't
entertain.
even
That's why he
I
couldn't
ain't
see
even hunting in the forest for a lady. I'm.
That's why you have them shaved, so there is no forest.
Oh damn, bro, damn. But yo, what
is this a Manscaped ad? What's going on here?
This channel's not that big yet. This channel's not that big yet. I'm not getting calls from Manscaped. I'm not getting emails or anything from them yet. So, but it is what it is, guys. I hope you're having a great Thursday, guys. We have a lot of things to talk about because we weren't live last week, so I gotta mix. I gotta blend in topics from last week, including topics from this week, and I have a serious, balanced question when it comes to God of War Ragnarok, and I want to see the response from the panel and the chat here because I did not play it, so I'm gonna go from that side of it. But I have a very important question that I need straightened out. I need answers. I need to understand that. But before we get into that, we do have to get into the intros, and I'm gonna start with the man that he is a next podcast exclusive this week because he had to do things like, I don't know, what do you call that, vote and other things. He had real he had real life stuff to do throughout the week, but he was open and ready and available tonight. It is Crispy Bomb. Crispy, what is up, brother?
Next podcast exclusive. What's up, everybody? Yeah, it's been a while since you've heard the crispy of war. Which war am I talking about? Oh, the war we never know. But I'm glad to be here, and I don't know. I guess we have like games that don't have multiplayer involved to talk about, so let's do that. Yeah, sounds great.
Dude, they're coming. They're coming, bro. I tell you every week. I'm like, dude, they're coming. All right, like
I don't know.
That's what they say. They're coming, man. But it's great to be back. Great to be live. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about these topics tonight. So it's gonna be good. But next on the list, coming live from the 405. This man has been here from the beginning. And you guys know I definitely appreciate that. It is my brother K Mega. K Mega, what is up, bro?
Oh, everything's fine. I mean, it's welcome back to next podcast. Listening to Pred slamming doors, getting ice. You know what I'm saying? Taking a shit. You know what I'm saying? Wiping his wiping his nuts down, his greasy ass nuts. I don't know what the hell's going on when he's over there, but it's
playing
a lot
with bubble wrap.
A lot of noise. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? There we go. I do it anyway. I was like, he's really taking a shit. Okay.
I was not taking a shit. I was supposed to
shit. Anyway, yeah. My apologies for missing last week, but I'm not sorry because I was spending time with the wife. You know what I'm saying? We was hanging out.
You're supposed to.
So she apologizes then, right? She apologizes.
Whoa! I don't think so. I don't think she will. But no. You know what I'm saying? We celebrated the weekend.
Oh yeah, it was her birthday, right?
Yeah. And then we celebrated and we caught up on some TV shows. And then here tomorrow night, well, I should say Saturday morning, we are going to go see the Black Panther movie at like 1:38. It's like 1:30, 1:40 in the morning. So you know what I'm saying? And that's
I heard
something
that
she
good,
never
by
does.
The way. I heard the movie.
Yeah, me too. But she's like really systematic on how she goes to sleep. Like she goes to sleep between these certain hours every night. So to her to stay up that late to want to go check out a movie, so I got no choice but to hang out with the missus. You know what I'm saying? To honor our marriage. That's wonderful stuff, man. So
stay on her schedule.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much my skill. I'm the night owl. She's not. So for her to want to do that, then that's like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And she just kind of insinuated. That's love, right? So I'm going to definitely be enjoying that. But yeah, other than that, man, just losing my damn mind with Persona, man. I'm almost there. I'm almost done. So, and then I can get back to playing some multiplayer games.
Yeah, a little NBA. You coming back, man, to the rec? Coming back. Dude, you bought all them clothes, man. You can't let them like rot away in the closet, bro. Get
but what I
mossy.
said is that
gotta get to the Call of Duty store.
Yeah, I haven't even played Call of Duty. I only played a little bit of Gotham Knights. I said I was supposed to play. There ain't been a fight night in over a month. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you said multiplayer games, and now you're saying Gotham Knights. See, that shit don't mix right there. Like,
well, I'm finna. I promised to stream that. So, I haven't done any. I haven't streamed. I haven't done anything.
It's all good, man. I'm gonna hit level 40 on season 2. I'm gonna get all the good shit. It's all right.
I'll be back in season 3. I'll be back season 3.
All right, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Let's see. Let's move on in intros. Next on the list, he is the OG gamer, and I think he skipped out on work tonight, just a little bit. I think he was feeling under the weather. He skipped out, but let's be real. He skipped out to be on the show tonight. It is Sir X-Man. Really. Sir X-Man, what's up, bro?
You just happened to be on, and I was like, oh, fuck it.
You here right now, so I can say whatever I want on how you got here. I'm just saying.
I'm just stuck in the new storyline of Star Trek Online, dude. It's fucking awesome. I ain't giving none to the way, but Wesley Crusher is evil.
You know, I
really Crusher.
Yeah, dude, the kid? I have to tell you about that. Yeah, I have to tell you about that another time. But that Star Trek Online story is awesome. You got to go to planet, and real quick, it crosses over the that alternate universe with the original universe, and they split and they cause a problem. Not telling you what the main thing is, but man, that shit blew my mind what the evil entity was, dude. I was like, shit, so now I gotta try and figure out a way to defeat it, man. It's deep, K-Mega. That's the best storyline they ever had for Star Trek Online, man. It's good.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, brother.
I'm about to get the Atari 50 anniversary.
Oh, we don't want to hear about Atari. That's it, man. We already talked about that off air.
I'm sorry, some of us are old, dude. God damn. Even K-Mega would go back to playing some of them old again. They got new versions too.
K-Mega, you gotta put down that Persona to play some Asteroid, bro. How do you feel?
Persona.
They got Combat. They got Tetris. They got a whole bunch of revamps. They got Missile Command.
How do they have Tetris on Atari?
Atari 7800, dude. It's not just the 2600. It's all the Atari games. There's over 100 Atari games. I didn't think
they had Tetris on
Yeah, on the 7800. Yeah. Me and my friend used to play it all the time.
I think Tetris is one of the oldest games ever.
I mean, Tempest. I apologize.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say not Tetris, bro. I was debating on whether or not
one of the oldest games.
I should really call this out. You know what I'm saying? I was debating on whether or not I should really call that out. Thank you for your correction, man.
Myself, Joe. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I wasn't feeling good at work, so. Yeah.
All right, brother. All right. Well, speaking of not feeling good, I will let people know. And for 5 days, I have been sick as a dog. I'm not back to 100%, so not like that. Not like that, brother. Not like that.
Okay. That man, what did you go through 4 rolls of toilet paper, Xbot?
No, I said not like that, man. It's all like in my chest, my nose, like that area, my head, like. So I'm not back to 100%, so I might sound a little bit different. I am gonna be muting myself.
No, you sound the same
when I cough and all that good stuff. So just bear with me. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. But next on the list, of course, is a next podcast exclusive, and he is one of the guys that just he begs and pleads for me to not talk about Halo every single week, because I could come up with a Halo topic every single week, but thanks to this man, we're not doing that. Of course, it is Predator. Predator, what is up, brother?
Oh my God, did we not get that on the show today? Because that's fucking amazing.
I might mention something. I might mention something about that.
Y'all listening, you guys don't understand. We'll have our little like chats before the show, and he always tries to sneak this Halo topic in there, and I'm like, skip that. And he tries to defend this shit all the goddamn time.
Dude,
I'm like, dude, we just talked
it's
about
huge
that. No one
Xbox
gives a
news,
shit.
brother. It's like
Because we don't talk about any other DLC content for any other game except for Halo. Ghost Recon came out DLC, didn't hear about it. Division DLC, didn't hear about it. If it ain't Halo or fucking Destiny.
dude, I haven't. When was the last time I
about
talked
that shit
about
all
that?
the time. We ain't talked about Madden. We ain't talked about fucking
Nothing to talk about.
Shower with Dad. We ain't talked about none of them games. You know, like, but he'll bring. They talk about Halo having a new gun. He be like, "Oh, that's a topic. That's a topic, bro.
Yo, come
put this in there. We got Halo toys. Let's go. Let's talk about that." I'm like, I'm saving y'all.
I actually have to agree.
Listen. I'm gonna defend myself on the Halo. I am gonna definitely defend myself on the whole Halo toys thing. All right, because when I brought that up, it was before Halo Infinite came out, and there were certain things that they were pointing out in the toys that could lead into the story.
Was any of that in the story?
Anyway,
characters that was in the game, but
anyway.
yeah.
Anyway.
That wasn't worth an hour of everyone's time to talk about a fucking toy because a helmet was on it. All right, so just throwing it out there. So I gotta keep you grounded sometimes. It's like I gotta keep fucking Chris in his fucking place every now and then too. So it works both ways. And K Mega. It's been a good week, man. Veterans Day tomorrow. I had dinner tonight with some friends of mine. I took out this girl I'm seeing from Oklahoma to her birthday last week. So that's why we wasn't on the show last week.
Oh, you was out here? You was out here? Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah. Pre-dinner before your dinner.
Pre-dinner before your dinner.
Yeah.
Well, nice.
Subscribe to his
OnlyFans.
Did you not see my bullshit message in the chat in our little? I guess not. So I was joking with you.
He said, Press said it's weird. How can Lady Mega have dessert before dinner? Like it was a weird thing.
No, I did not see that. I did not see it.
Mega posted in the chat in our Twitter DMs or whatever. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna make the show. Wife's birthday's today. Da da da." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I have to miss the show today too because can't make his wife's birthday is today."
I did not see that. Oh shit, no, I was preoccupied.
Anything? I was like, "Damn." Okay.
I didn't even see it. I was preoccupied. So you know what I'm saying. I mean, I was.
Happy Veterans Day to y'all out there. Get that out the way now. So let's get on with these bullshit topics. Talk about Halo.
Anyway, so that's the zone I was in. Anyway, let's go.
Wow. Well, guys, on that note, just real quick, because I will say when it comes to Halo, for some rhyme or reason, I am the only person who has played the update on my entire panel. I don't know what it was. I think K Mega said something like they should have had this shit right in the beginning and kept me playing it. But since they didn't, he'll get to it whenever. K Mega, what were you saying about that, bro?
As you can see, the gameplay right here. This isn't my gameplay. No. I believe, you know what I'm saying, because I was going to say this. Look, this is just the intro, but I mean, because if you would have seen my gameplay, you would have seen, a lot more. But you know what I'm saying. Shout out to Kasumi. You know what I'm saying. The redhead. Going out there putting in work. I'm over here on my persona. You know what I'm saying, chasing them draws. I got plenty of selection. I'm kind of leaning to the teacher, but I don't know. Anyway, But what I was saying about the about Halo is pretty much what you said. But like, if right now my whole interest right now is Persona 5. I'm almost done with it. So when I get done, I will definitely be jumping on Halo. But they should have had that shit already fixed. I mean, when I was ready to jump on Halo, I had a plan. It was going to be Madden, NBA 2K, Halo, and then when the second update for Battlefield, that was the lineup. That was the lineup. Here they go, making excuses again. And listen, I'm not saying that I dislike Halo Infinite. I love Halo. Halo is still one of my favorite franchises of all time. Will continue to be. I have much love for 343. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the few people that's still standing with 343. But I got other shit to play. I got other shit to play now, so I'll just wait till I'm ready to play it. So Don hit me up, a couple of times, like, hey man, you want to be? Yeah, nah, not right now. I'm busy.
Bro.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'll get to it when I get to it.
You got a legend in the community agreeing with you right now. Shout out to Lady Foxfire, who is in the chat. What is up, lady? And she's like, K-Mega is right. Get it right from the start.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I said this, and I'll continue to say it, and I will, and I don't care who gets mad about it. Delays don't hurt games; they make games better. And if they needed to delay any game out there longer than what even if they're after another delay, so be it. Halo Infinite should have been delayed until March of this year, maybe even the summer of this year. And people would have been griping, bitching, saying everything. You had a PlayStation stand saying everything else. But the reality is that we got what we got. I mean, the beginning of everything with Halo Infinite was fantastic. But then once the middle of January hit, or I'll even give it grace and say February, it was over. It just, what I'm saying? You couldn't deny it was chitons. You could not deny the fact of what was going on. And as a person who is an Xbox fan, people call me Xbot and all that other stuff. Regardless, I will keep it 100% authentic, real. You know what I'm saying? So raw and uncut, like my boy Still Rain say. I am going to play Halo when I'm ready to play Halo. Just like with Battlefield 2042. I'm going to play it when I get ready. You know what I'm saying? I tried to get rid of that bitch. Xbox wouldn't let me. They say, no, you stuck with it. Sorry, bro. So now I'm just stuck with it. So I'll play that when I play that. I pretty much will probably be playing Call of Duty before I play Halo Infinite or Battlefield 2042. So that's just going to be that's just the reality of it.
Call of Booty.
Yo, shout out to Master Clown, a member of this channel for 19 months. He says, getting up there, need that final evolution. I believe he's talking about the icons for the members, man. Shout out to you, bro. Yo,
yes,
thank
sir.
you so much for the support, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Shout out to Master Clown.
Dude, you got so many people saying different things about your comments here. You got Lady Foxfire agreeing. Let's see, what is it? Portal player said, tell that to Crackdown 3, K-Mega. Damn, bro. Damn. So
Crackdown 3? I mean, Crackdown 3's got more maps than damn Halo Infinite.
Does it though? Does it though?
When you jump into the play, when you play it, it does.
Are we still talking about Halo?
I don't know about that. But look, guys, like I said,
the one topic I was trying to avoid, we're still fucking talking about it.
Yeah. Go ahead. But no, I'm just saying.
Like I said, I'm gonna be blending in, topics that we had from last week and this week. I do want to start off with Sonic though. Sonic Frontiers came out this week. I can almost guarantee that nobody on the panel has picked it up. I tried the old school method of mooching it. Because I was a little, like not sure about how this game was built, because when they showed the gameplay and stuff like that, it looked like it was an open world Sonic. Come to find out, there is exploration and kind of like an open world type situation, but you have like you portal back into like almost like a traditional Sonic gameplay in a lot of aspects and stuff like that. The reason why I bring it up is because, Sonic has been kind of on the hot seat for a long time in terms of when Sonic Team, the developers of Sonic games, when are they going to get back on the right track with making like quality Sonic games? Now, I thought Sonic Generations back on the 360 was a really good Sonic game. Even Sonic Forces, man, like when it came to the gameplay, really, really solid. Absolutely had a lot of fun with the gameplay. When it came to the story and the voice acting and everything else like around the gameplay, that's where in my opinion Sonic Forces fell really short. But I'm seeing a lot of people really getting into this Sonic. I'm gonna start with K Mega on this one. Yo, K Mega, have you seen like the reactions to Sonic Frontiers. Like I've seen a lot of people saying, kind of like Sonic is back. That this formula works. It's not perfect. Dude, what do you think here? Do you think that like Sonic could possibly be on the right track now to like move forward in terms of putting out like, you know, quality games like consecutively? Like what have you heard and what have you seen about, you know, the game that just, you know, dropped this week?
I've read the critics hate it, or not hate it, but say it's below standard or mediocre, or average. And then I've seen people in the community that's playing it saying that they love it. Other people out there saying that the game is the game is solid. They was maybe expecting a little bit more, but it's not a bad game whatsoever. So I mean, I'm gonna take the gamer side of it or whatever. Like from the things that I've seen, it looks fun. It's got more. It's giving from everything that I've seen. I have more interest into this Sonic than I have with the other Sonic games. So I can't really tell you because I haven't played Sonic consistently since the Dreamcast. So
Wow. Dude,
yeah. I mean, I own quite a few Sonic games, but I haven't even booted them up. I wouldn't tell you what they look like in real life. You know what I'm saying? The one, what was it, Sonic Forces, that I thought that looked pretty cool. I think that was the one that was called. It was the kind of like it was the 3D one, the last 3D one that they made.
Yeah, the last 3D one was Forces. I beat that one.
Yeah, I got that one, and then I got Generations, and then there was another one that I was looking to get, but Colors or something like that. But I was waiting for a sale on that one. I think that was the name of it. But regardless, and that was supposed to be one of the more popular Sonic games. I like Sonic, but again, I've kind of fell out of love with platforming games. I'm just not a big fan of them like I used to. So, you know, it's like one of those games that you put on the back burner. But this one looks very interesting to me because it's in 3D. It's look more open. Looks like you got more options within like in an open world. And of course, if you follow me, you know how I'm a big fan of open world games. So it sparked my interest. But of course, it wasn't going to be a game that was going to be day one for me. But I mean, I don't know, man. It looks really cool from what I've seen from people's gameplay, but I mean, that's all I can go by. I mean, I plan on getting it, but it'll be later on down the line, probably maybe during a Black Friday sale or probably at the end of the year sale.
Black Friday. I didn't even think about that.
Clowns are saying I'm speaking sacrilege, bro. There's other games that sparks my interest, man. I mean, I'm just not a platforming guy like that. I'm the same way with Mario. I mean, I still got love for Mario. I buy the games, but I just kind of
he buys the games and doesn't really play them. Like,
and I don't. I'm like, I'll get to him maybe in another 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. So.
I got you, bro. I got you, man. One of the things that kind of like really felt weird, and I want to know if this is one of the things that sparks your interest on that is the aspect of having like a lot of the background have like more realistic type textures and stuff like that. Like, is that something that you're into?
It does. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, that it's unique. It's more unique than I've ever seen it. That's why like Forces caught my attention, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get that because it just isn't following the same. And that's why I love the old Sonic games from the Dreamcast 1 and 2, even though 2 wasn't the best. But still, it was different than the old Sonics that you got on the Genesis. So I was like, okay, all right, I'm cool with that. But then ever since then, like because the second game didn't do well, they went back to the original setting, which I thought that was cool. But I'm kind of a person that want to see games progress the other way, not regress. And even though the game may still be fun and for nostalgia reasons, that's what people actually that are true Sonic fans would want. I kind of am looking forward to what I'm seeing with this game, so I will go support it.
I gotta say, I do like the different types of combat that they have with Sonic. It's no longer just jumping and hitting them, like hitting the enemies as you're spinning. Like you could basically dash around them in a circle, and anything within that circle gets damaged when you actually complete the circle. There's there's a punching maneuver, kind of like reminds me of like E Honda in Street Fighter with his all the palms that he used to throw out and stuff like that, and you can literally go up and like kick enemies in the face. So like I like that they evolved that aspect of it. I don't know. Let me get Crispy in on this. Crispy, first off, I got to ask if you're a Sonic fan. What have you seen when it comes to Sonic Frontiers, bro?
What have I seen?
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it to come on Game Pass. That's what I've seen.
What happened? You're waiting for it to come on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, see, what you're automatically thinking that's a bad thing?
No, like, and you know what's the funny thing about this? Like, part of me is like, I hope I want Xbox to buy Sega as well. So if they could get Sonic on the right track moving forward, and then Xbox acquires like that publisher, that would be just more kind of like icing on the cake for me when it comes to that, man. But go ahead.
Did you notice anything that Sega released it on the Switch first? Anybody notice that?
It was
technically
released
they did
on the Switch before anything else. I thought it all released at the same time.
It was released before the release date.
Huh.
On the Switch. That's where like there's this big argument about, is God of War gonna outsell Sonic? And I say no, it's not. Because it's multiplat and it's releasing on the Switch. And currently right now, there are more Switch consoles than anything else. And this is where we could have the argument about, Call of Duty, if it went to the Switch. Xbox is not going to take it away from PlayStation. PlayStation, literally, I have seen 0 advertisements about God of War, except like the ones that like were a while ago, like Rick and Morty and stuff like that. I haven't seen much else. I've seen all Call of Duty. That's how important this is.
I saw the commercial with LeBron and Ben Stiller fucking for God of War.
Yeah, I mean, but dude, like it's saturating how many like Call of Duty like and like now, right before it comes out or it's already come out, you start seeing ads. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, Sonic is Sonic.
It's iconic. He's iconic, man.
Well, he's iconic for us old heads, but also because of the movies, he's iconic now. And the portrayal of Sonic was playful, it was funny, but at the same time, like, some people could be turned off on it. And I get that, but the movie did really well. And they also listened to the fans because the original one, if it wasn't good, guess what? People wouldn't be paying attention. So, the Sonic shirts, stuff like that, like those things are all selling, like the merchandise there. That's why Sega is still around. They still have all the rights to all this stuff.
Yes, sir.
So, like all these like, little knickknacks, as we like to call them, those things are huge now. And people are selling them for twice what they're worth. So they're buying it up immediately. And this is what's happening with consoles right now. Like, some people feel it's niche and that they have to purchase one because they want it. And they might play on their phone the whole time. People are doing those type of things now. So, I don't know. Like, it was quiet for a couple of days. And then all of a sudden, like, people start talking trash about Xbox again when they're playing PlayStation. Well, I don't know, dude. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm not playing God of War. Okay? Sonic Frontiers, I'll wait for it. They brought the entire Yakuza series to Game Pass. They're going to bring Frontiers to Game Pass at some point. I will wait for it because you know what? I don't have the money to drop on it anyway.
Yeah, it is a full price title, and I can definitely see, like I'm even being cautious with it. And Crispy, you know me, I'm a huge Sonic fan, dude. I absolutely love Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, I was a little kind of put off with the difference in this one, but some of the reviews I watched, some of the gameplay I've watched, it does look pretty cool, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's good to see. It's good to see a gaming icon get some positive traction again. You know what I'm saying, Crispy? Because there was a point in time where people were saying like pretty much Sonic is kind of like doing the whole just cut it, change the topic type situation. Like it's a done deal, and just
I haven't played the game. I've watched a decent amount, and for those nostalgia heads, I feel like it kind of feels like Saturn Sonic 3D, which was the next level. And they've added, little elements like RPG elements to the game that is rubbing some people the right way and some people the wrong way. But a lot of those people that are really happy with it is that they're Sonic fans. And, it still has those elements. Like they're trying to ride this fine line. And, the score might not reflect what people are feeling like. And I see a lot of positive user scores across the board. So I don't know. Like, people are underestimating brand power because, basically you've been, advertising Call of Duty. Like this is something Xbox would do. This is something they used to do. You know what I mean? Advertising, they're a third-party brand, and you have a bunch of exclusive rights to it. This is exactly the Xbox One at the beginning of the generation. It was, and then Phil took over, and he's like, "Nah, we're not even going to do that. We're not even going to play ball. We're not gonna compete in this.
We're gonna create our own game, basically."
Yeah, and they decided to go subscription, and I mean, it just came out today that Apple Arcade is got like
100 million,
possibly 100 million subscribers, and that's where you go and say like, so why is everybody like acting like Game Pass is going to kill everything? I mean, and don't get me wrong, like being an Xbox fan and seeing what they're doing, I feel like their metaverse is like. That's why this Gears thing is happening with Netflix. Because they're like, we need this IP out to the public that's not going to play the game. Because then it may influence a person that will play the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things like, you look at it and you say, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they do a full-on movie and then do an animated series? Well, what if the animated series is built in Unreal Engine 5?
Huh.
What if the entire series is built in Unreal Engine 5? They have a partnership. They've already said it with the Coalition. What do you think's going to happen? Why would there be an animated series after? Because they're going to make it look as realistic as possible. And there's already been movies that have used Unreal in general. So why not make a whole series? Why not use the masters of the craft to do it? Why not make that something? And that's where you go and look at all this whole spectrum and you say, Xbox is just playing a different game, and they're willing to look at the Switch and say, hey, you guys don't get this experience over here.
Yo, Crispy,
why not provide it for you?
Crispy, I gotta ask you, how do you do this, man? I started by asking you about Sonic, and somehow you brought it to Gears, like you brought it to Switch, you brought it to PlayStation. It amazes me. It amazes me.
I will take that as a compliment,
yeah,
Bob.
I will.
I
have no idea how you did that. And you have
I was legit over here.
everybody.
I had my head in my hands. Like, how did he get the game?
I knew it. Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. I was over here like, I was over here saying, Like, how the hell did we get to that to Gears?
We went from blue with Sonic to green,
right,
to red,
right,
to blue with PlayStation, back to green, back to red,
and then zigzag to Gears, and somehow that connected to Gears.
That is amazing, brother. I gotta give you props, bro. I gotta give you props,
dude. I will take it, dude. No,
dude, no doubt, man. No doubt, yo. Let's get Pred in here now. Pred, I do distinctly remember you making fun of my quote unquote mediocre Sonic gameplay. I do remember you stating that to me at one point in time. So I don't know how you feel about Sonic, like in general, but it's an iconic character. It seems like a lot of people are getting into this new Sonic Frontiers, basically a new way to play as Sonic with the speed and everything. Like there's a lot of things that are the same, but dude, what have you heard? What have you seen when it comes to Frontiers? And do you think that Sonic Team finally has something that they can build on, like moving into new Sonics in the future?
So as I've watched the gameplay of Sonic, it looks so empty and like you just run, break shit, and go through puzzles. Like there's nothing going on in the land. It's just like I haven't played a Sonic game a long fucking time. Like maybe since like Knuckles and Tails. That's how fucking far it's been.
Oh damn! Oh damn!
Yeah, like I outgrew that game, and it's like those characters like from the 90s and stuff like that we grew up playing, like Mario's and stuff like that. There's a place for them, but it's not now. I look at them as like the Ninja Turtles and like Voltron and like the old Transformers and shit that we used to watch as kids. Like that shit died off and it got replaced with something else at some point in time. And I think Sonic, Mario, even though they're iconic characters, right now they're surviving off of their name. And they're like, our generation doesn't know that. They know the movies now, and there's a new Mario movie coming out, but like my kids never played Sonic. They didn't grow up on Sonic. They didn't grow up on Mario. That's what we grew up on. I think for us as older gamers, we gotta hang on to that because we remember those years playing those games. But our generation of kids coming up now, they're not into that shit. It's anime. It's fucking, it's like, what the fuck? It's just Call of Duties. It's shit like that. Like, and like Soap is probably more iconic to these kids than fucking Sonic is, to be honest with you. Like, they know who Soap is, from playing for Call of Duty. They know who, pick an anime character. They know who those guys are. They don't really
from Bleach.
I mean, I don't watch anime, but sure.
I do. I do. Man, Bleach is fire.
Fortnite. These are Fortnite babies. That's what I'm gonna call them. Fortnite babies. That's what they're growing up playing. They're not playing Sonic. They're not playing Mario. They're not like. It's like maybe as a kid, as our parents pushing that on them. If you gave your kids a video game system, pick one. They're not thinking, I need to play Mario. That's what we did. Mario, was it Super Mario 3? That shit for us was like fucking candy growing up.
Fire.
Like
that was fire.
You remember that game came out? That game was every fucking where.
Hell yeah.
Halo, every fucking where. That's kind of more current. The games that come out now for these kids, it's not the same because they're not getting a game. They're getting, like a season pack or they're not playing the way we used to play.
They're getting characters.
Like you get Mario,
Fortnite, shit like
that. Like there's always something changing in the game. It's like it's different. It's online. It's like it's completely different. So for them to have that single player experience playing Contra, fucking 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, up, down, left. They don't remember that shit. They weren't in that generation. So I do think with Sonic, I'm gonna bring it back in. It looks good. It looks like a next-gen game based off of the older Sonics. I think it's just too far from what, and again, this is just me looking at it, not playing it. I think it's kind of far off from what we played as Sonic. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Because, I mean, like, for me, Sonic was just like, get the controller, right, and jump. You know what I'm saying? And, Every now, I mean, like, just get on this thing, go as fast as you can, and go through that little, the finish line, and get all as many coins as you can at the end. Like, I wasn't trying to get achievements. I was just trying to kill Mr. Egg, Dr. Egg, whatever,
Dr.
and that's it.
Eggman.
And that was it. It wasn't that difficult. Like, just to hit right and jump at the right time, and say with Mario, just go right and just jump. So I think this is what I would have done with Sonic. Evolve it to something more like Ori like. Make it like, I don't really play a lot of platformers either, but I
did
do
like
think
Ori. You did like
I
Ori.
loved
though.
Ori.
Yeah.
I love Ori. If they'd have given me Sonic in that way, where it's puzzles, you still collect coins, there's more enemies, there's other shit to do than just run right and jump in a platformer type style, I think I would have been more receptive to that than what they're showing me now. That's just me. I always like Mario, Sonic. Those are side scrollers to me. Those are iconic games in that environment. And one, with the exception of I think it was Mario 64 when it went 3D, which was another amazing game at the time. I think they should have just left it as like with Zelda. Keep it side scroller. Keep it that way, the way it was. Like of a platformer. Like when they started doing the 3D thing with, I think they tried to do what Mario was doing, and I don't think it works very well with Sonic. To me, I think Sonic should have kind of evolved its way and stayed as a 2D, platformer, and just evolved that way instead. And I think they're still in that mindset. We got to make this 3D game, because a lot of people, because remember, like 2D games kind of went away for a while. They weren't really very popular. If you remember, like everything had to be 3D realistic graphics and stuff. And then like, these these third party people started coming out, these indie developers started coming out and start making 2D games popular again. Start winning awards and shit like that. You started getting your Ori, you started getting your Cuphead, you started getting games like that, and they started being fun again. And I think maybe Sonic needs to go back to that instead of what they're doing now.
But check this out, Pred, and I love the fact that you brought in like indies, indie developers started making these 2D games and such. Now, when it comes to Sonic, Sega views that as a top tier franchise, top tier title. If you notice, the 2D platformers that you're talking about, none of them sell for the full retail price either. You see what I'm saying?
And that's fine. Sonic can sell for $30, and I
don't think they want to sell it for $30, bro. That's
they want it. They want it to be their Sega wants it to be their what I'm thinking of, like their lead game, because of his iconic status, and I just don't think it is. I don't think I don't think it's as iconic as it used to be. Let's put it that way. A lot of people, older people, will remember it, but like the younger generation doesn't. And I don't know if this game is going to pull that younger generation in.
I got you, man. It's definitely interesting. I mean, you do make a lot of points. Shout out to Lady Foxfire. Lady, different gamers are gonna have different opinions. You know me, I absolutely love Sonic. You talk about Sonic Mania. I still have the limited edition one in box on my display in the living room, and I have a digital copy downloaded on my Xbox as well. It is a great game. You are right. It's just that, for so many years, Sonic Team has been so heavily scrutinized over the new Sonics that have come out, that, I want to see them get on the right page. And to me, they're showing some type of positivity and progression when it comes to Frontiers. And, I'm just asking the panel about it and see what they think about it. And they're going to have their own opinions. So, with that being said, I want to go over to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man, we get to talk about an iconic franchise that has been around for a while. So I hope you can dig it, man, because you're into all sorts of games, no matter when they came out and stuff like that. Like, what have you seen from Sonic Frontiers, and what do you think? Do you think that with kind of like the feedback that's going on out there, do you think that Sonic Team finally has a good structure for future Sonic games as they move forward?
Nah, you know I don't give a shit about what people think about a
That
game. It's my
exactly. That's why I
own
figured. I
opinion
figured you would. This
and my opinion alone. I do want the game, but I am gonna wait till Black Friday or Cyber Monday to pick it up. Um, I really just want to see what the new final boss is. Is it going to be Egghead or somebody new?
it's new, new,
So yeah, I am interested to see who is the new boss for Sonic.
and it's not
And
Egghead.
we
It's
have to wait.
Eggman.
Whatever,
He said
Egghead. But
Doctor Egghead. Yeah, that's great.
yeah, tomato, whatever. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
call it
yeah,
Robotnik too.
Man.
yeah. But I'm just looking forward to playing the game, Hopefully, I enjoy it, and if I don't, I'll let people know. But it looks good and the people are rating it high. I don't give a shit about the Metacritic stat. Real people that really play games like it. And that's pretty much all that counts. Stop listening to these magazines and the YouTube videos who give it a bad rap and all this stuff. Play the game for yourself or find out from a friend if you're gonna like it or not. Or look for real people that are really playing the game. That's all I gotta say on it, dude. But I will be playing it.
Damn, you said real people were really playing the game. That makes me think maybe I should start doing
Dude, there's some
game.
fake people that play games that ain't even really.
Maybe I should start doing game reviews again on my channel, man. I've been thinking about that for a while too. But
Dude, you could barely keep a consistent show every week.
oh, you know what, Sir X Man, that's it. That's it.
I
That's
love
it.
you,
We're moving
bro.
on, bro. We're moving on. Yeah. Well,
All right.
speaking of new games, I don't know if you guys have heard. They might have said a couple things on social media or something like that, but the sequel to 2018's God of War came out. God of War Ragnarok. I did get a chance to see some extensive gameplay. Now, I do not have a PS4 and I do not have a PS5. All right, so I have not played it. Um, I got a question when it comes to God of War, and I'm going to leave this kind of like open panel here, and it's for the chat too as well, because I see so many people when it comes to God of War 2018 and now even God of War Ragnarok, they're saying that these are the best games ever made. And from the gameplay that I've seen, and I'm not trying to knock the game at all. The game graphically looks good, right? When it comes to the combat, I don't see anything that's really kind of like fresh, inventive, or inspiring in terms of that third person melee based kind of like action adventure combat in this game. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not getting how these games are labeled as the best games ever made. Like I said, graphically they look good,
Quick
and
time events.
I'm not
Please,
sure.
please let me hit. Please let me hit on this. Please.
Like I'm not sure like if people are just hanging their hat completely on the graphic situation. Like the story seems interesting, but it's nothing that tells me, oh man, like I really need to go out and cop a PS4 or a PS5. Like this seems to be one of the greatest games like ever created, and I need to get in on it. And I just don't see it as the top of that mountain in terms of what I've seen when it comes to gameplay and stuff. So I don't know, Sir X Man, you were begging, man. So you can hit this first, dude. What do you think?
This is going to be a little throat clear. Okay. I believe the game is good. There's no doubt about that. I believe the game is good. But I believe the game was, and I don't care who rips me or not, were from some of the fans that write articles that are in these magazines and stuff like that rate games that everybody goes by, rated it higher because it's really close to awards time. And I don't know if they're Sony purists or they're trying to somebody sneaking some extra in their pocket or whatever it is. But I believe they're trying to overpower the Elden Ring phenomenon to let God of War become Game Award winner, so more people will go out and buy it. Because you know how Sony fans are. And no disrespect to nobody. I love all consoles, but let's be real. They don't really buy the first, the what do you call that again? Where the company makes the game. I can't get
Which
it out
one?
like that. What do
Santa
you call
Monica?
that? No, not that.
No, what?
When first party games, they don't really buy their first party games. And I remember God of War the 2018 sold good, but it sold better and more after it was announced Game of the Year.
Huh.
And more people bought into it. That's a fact, dude. So I believe that this game will win the Game Award somehow, and so many people are going to get mad because I'm sorry, even though I ain't played it, but I've seen gameplay, I've seen people enjoying it. The Elden Ring should win. Elden Ring should win Game of the Year. But I believe with this hype of this game being rated higher than Elden Ring, that they'll just go by that for the Game Awards and let God of War win. That's just my thought on it. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm feeling about this super high score.
Are we talking about the Game Awards now?
No, don't even try to flip what I'm saying. At least I'm still on topic.
Oh, damn, bro.
Oh,
damn.
shit.
Yo, fight.
I'm sorry I didn't mention Gears of War, Chris.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Nah.
But that's what I've been thinking ever since I started seeing those high scores. I'm like, really? The first one was a great iteration. That deserved what it got. But for this to almost be the same, which is nothing wrong with the game being pretty much the same as its previous. But for something to be primarily the same game, but just with new levels, new bosses and stuff like that, and just a continuation of the story that you left off with. I just don't understand how it is so high up there.
Now,
go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
now, real quick, because Portal Player is telling me how can I make that assessment without playing the game. He said that you gotta
do that all the time, don't they?
You gotta play it in order. And the thing is, I wanted to see kind of like the story unfold and all that good stuff. And
there's plenty of people streaming it.
I have extensive experience in kind of like the third person action adventure. Like let me take it to a game like I really do love that came out in the 360 era, which was Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Right?
Ooh, that game was so good.
All right. And the thing is, I see a lot of similarities between Castlevania and God of War. But I also see Castlevania did a bunch of different things with the amount of different types of power-ups to your weapon, like different ways to fight your enemy. It wasn't always just
Symphony of the Night. Oh my God, that changed everything.
Well, see, I like Lords of Shadow, man. That was actually one of my absolute favorite games in the 360 era. So I think I have extensive knowledge in the terms of that type of game to really kind of assimilate as if I was the one playing it. You see what I'm saying? And again, I'm not trying to say it's a bad game. I'm not trying to say that at all.
Nope.
Shout out to everybody who's enjoying it. Like, whenever you enjoy a game, in the hobby that I love, like the hobby that takes up most of my time, my recreational time and stuff like that,
with that.
It's a great thing. All right. I just don't see, and I feel like a lot of it, like people are trying to throw it out there that it's the best game ever and stuff like that. A lot of people are doing that because they are fans of a certain platform, and that's pretty much it. All right.
Thank you.
And like I just want to know what makes this. What about this game puts it in the category of quote unquote best game ever made? Because from what I've seen from it, the story does look interesting. It does have, you know, some cool like set pieces, stuff like that. But when it comes to the combat, like I think I've seen games that have better combat that's within that same type of structure and such. So I'm wondering what it is. And I feel like, especially, you know, today's day and age, last generation, a lot of people hang their hat on graphics like above everything else.
And you still can't jump. You still can't make Kratos jump. Come on.
You can jump in Castlevania, by the way.
I
yeah, but I don't know. Yo, K Mega, you played 2018. I'm not sure. I don't think you picked up Ragnarok. Have you picked up Ragnarok?
No.
All
No,
right.
I have not picked up Ragnarok. No.
'Cause
I told you what time it is. This is Persona 5 time. I'm not worried about anything
But
else right now.
do you
He
do you
said
hear
he
what
gonna
I'm
get
saying?
to it
Like with
when
the,
he get to it.
do you hear
Yeah.
what I'm saying with the question I'm posing here? Because I just
Yeah, no,
I don't get it.
I get
man.
it. No. I get what both of you guys are saying, right? Like, I mean, without trying to sound.
But you have experience with the newer God of
yeah,
War.
yeah.
So,
They're trying to sound like you're trying to hate it because it's a PlayStation game.
yeah, but I'm
But
not.
this is the one
Right,
thing.
we're not
but
trying to hate the game.
I know, but let me see if this rolls off of my tongue any better. I understand the whole point of view of it, but this is just the reality of what the PlayStation stand will do on top of the game of the gaming media will do, and then you also have just gamers. It doesn't matter which platform that they play on; they jump on and they play the game, and so that gives a game like God of War a lot of respect, right? Like, or a lot of acclaim.
Extra credit.
Right. But see, this is the difference though. We could play a game like, let's say, Halo Infinite. Or no. Let's just go to a game that's even within the score. Forza Horizon 5, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's only 2 points. Like in terms of meta, that's only 2 points below God of War Ragnarok.
They don't count that though.
But can I finish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're
But
welcome.
that's the point. They got an excuse for everything. Like the gamers who plays on everything and don't care about the console war aspect of it, they will say, "Oh, this game is amazing. Like Forza's great. Like, damn, you know." But then you have the stands who will come out and say, "It's just a racer. That doesn't count. You can make a racer who plays racers, but then there will be more people that'll play Forza than they'll play God of War. That's just the reality of it. But they don't want to have that discussion. The difference, of course, is like I said, all other gamers, Xbox gamers included, there are show game clips of God of War. They'll talk about how it is. They'll have Phil Spencer come out and say, "Look, we're happy. I can't wait to play it." Things like that. And so when you don't have Jim Ryan coming out and saying the same things, or you don't have people from PlayStation staff come out and say, Yoshida will come out every once in a while, say something. Jim Ryan will say something about an accolade, but not so much about a game. That's the difference, because they're programmed to not give credit to anything else except for their own. And while Xbox gamers shouldn't have to, they will listen to the people that have a problem with any Xbox game. It doesn't matter what 2023 is going to bring out. Every game can be a 90. Starfield could be exactly what everybody's anticipating it to be the next Skyrim in space. All of that. Be a 97 Metacritic, all of that. They will still find every flaw to point out to make other people look at it. And there will be parts of the media that will do the same and critique this game totally different than anything else that PlayStation can get. That's the difference. And is it fair? No. But this is just the reality of it. And this is the difference between, for me, and And if somebody tries to say, "Oh, you just a fanboy, you whatever," people, if you follow me, you listen to this show for years or whatever the case may be, listen to my channel, whatever, you know that God of War is one of my favorite, if it is my favorite franchise on PlayStation.
Yeah, dude,
I was saying
I was
God of
kind of leaning on you to really give me
Yeah,
any
yeah.
good reasons why this game
Well,
might be the greatest ever made. Like, I
but
don't-
Sony was on that bullshit. They talking about that $70. I'm not paying no $70 for no game. and their reward system is garbage, and therefore I won't get it until I'm ready to get it. When I'm dug in on something, I'm dug in on something. I'm not paying $70 for no damn game, and especially not no PlayStation 4 game, because I don't have a 5 yet. If I'm not going to buy a $70 game with on the Xbox Series X, paying just straight up $70, like, yeah, it'll still be a $70 game that I got, but I didn't pay $70 because I used my rewards. There's the difference. So like for Call of Duty, for Gotham Knights, for other games out there, I didn't pay shit. Gotham Knights, I got Gotham Knights for $40. I got yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't be when I stick to my guns, I stick to my guns. And so this is they didn't get me on it. I was anticipating the one to jump on it and play it. That was going to be most likely the next game that I jump on, was going to play God of War after I got done with Persona. But no, they want that $70. I'll wait. I'll even wait until next year, until it drops on PC. And then I can get it for 35 to
like
$50.
$20 less.
Yeah, to 35 to $50. I don't have no problem with waiting anymore. I don't care. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just standing my ground on that.
Okay, this is along the same lines. So there will not be a Black Friday deal for God of War for people.
Oh, absolutely not.
It will be $70.
Well, that was my whole point about talking about
Sonic
God of War and stuff like that.
Game that you like, the Batman style game, I forgot, Arkham.
Gotham Knights, yeah.
Gotham Knights,
yeah. Oh yeah,
that's
Call of Duty, they're all that's
too.
I've said that. So, but breaking it down to my point overall is saying that I get where Bot is talking about with the game, because even like I don't care what Digital Foundry saying, not saying that not talking bad about those gentlemen. I'm just saying that I don't pay attention to any of that shit anymore.
Nope.
They even said the game doesn't look it looks slightly better than, or pretty much the same. The PlayStation 5 version looks like the PlayStation 4 version. So, okay, that's cool. Whatever. That's so. If they want to be, if people want to say that the Xbox that the Xbox Series X is holding back the Series X, they should be saying the same thing about God of War, about the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. But they won't say that. And that's what I'm trying to overall say. Like, I hope people are getting my point. It's like PlayStation gamers or stands will not ever get to a point to where they can be taken seriously, because they never use their own narratives that they use against Xbox or Nintendo or PC on their own favorite platform. They never do it. They do not. They will not.
Dude, I actually have an example. I have an example of that. Yo, our buddy.
Go ahead. What's that?
Our buddy Christopher Hart, who for some rhyme or reason is never in the chat anymore. That's really weird. But he was talking about, he went to a Microsoft store and he tried playing Forza Horizon 5. He was like, "Oh, the game is just horrible. The cars run so loose and everything like that." Now, Christopher Hart, when it comes to Metacritic, he is all about that Metacritic score. So I was like, but the critics that you love so much gave it a 92. Like, what do you got to say about that? Like, and he tried to deflect it and switch and swerve and duck and dive and everything like that. Yeah. But so, because it didn't like benefit him at that point in time and what he was trying to say.
Right, like it's a narrative that they always have, and that's my point. Like, for me, this is the deal between Elden Ring and God of War. I mean, we kind of look at there will be some other dark horse games that probably will pop their head up to be in contention of Game of the Year this year. But the thing with Elden Ring that makes that game special, it's because that game brought in an audience that hates that genre.
Yes, sir.
And I'm one of them. I cannot stand that genre. Like, I can tell you how cool
You always
Row
used
is.
to rip Dark Souls.
Oh
You be
man,
like, fuck this shit.
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
this
I
shit,
bought
I'm
Dark
out.
Souls, I'll try to play it. I'm like, this shit is a waste, man. This is a waste of life. I've wasted like 6 or 7 hours of my life. I can never get those hours back playing Dark Souls 1, 2. I mean, 2 and 3. Can't. And so I'm like, no. And so everybody's like, man, try it. It's different. Elden Ring is different. And I seen this hype that I have not seen before for a game. Like, I've seen hype for, I think that the game that kind of comes to mind is Spider-Man that got this really crazy hype, or The Witcher, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
like
say God of War, the new God of War is better than The Witcher.
Dude,
That's what they're
Cyberpunk.
saying out there, dude.
Cyberpunk had the hype.
But see, it fell flat. It fell flat on his face though, because it was broken on the older consoles.
Yeah, because of performance.
Yeah, because of the performance, right? But yeah, no, you're right. So, but I'm talking about like when the game was out, and then people could play it, and you seeing gameplay. Like, all I seen was Elden Ring. I mean, with the ratio between Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West was like, I mean, it was like 10-1. It was crazy. And I'm like looking and I'm like, what the? And then so I've got people, man, try it. And I'm like, I am not trying this game. You're not going to talk me into getting this game. And then what happened? I got the game because I fell for the hype. That's the difference between what God of War Ragnarok is to Elden Ring. Elden Ring is something special. It is one of those games that brings people in from all different, that loves all different types of genres of games, or maybe hate that genre of game, and brought them in. Like, it's crazy what Elden Ring does.
And then
God of War is going to be.
Let me help him expand on the Elden Ring thing real quick, if you don't mind, guys, real quick. I didn't play Elden Ring, but I've never ever seen a game in a long time where everybody was like, did you get this boss? Oh, this is how you get this. You need to go get this, and this. And I'm like, damn, how deep is this game when you got a large-ass, mega-sized community, PlayStation people talking to Xbox people about how do you do this to get this boss, get through this area. That's Game of the Year material right there, which is rare in this industry.
You know, and K-Mega,
go ahead.
I just want to add on, because like that's one of the things I've been saying in terms of the whole Game of the Year discussion is Elden Ring did something that was like truly unique when it brings in people that wouldn't necessarily get into that type of game. But I also wanted to add the layer of they made it a truly open world as well. That right there, like when you're talking about some of the greatest games ever made, there's usually something that they add to it that like wasn't in that type of genre or whatever, that really kind of fleshed it out.
Created a new genre.
And it grabbed people who normally wouldn't be in it, you know, to play that. And like I just I'm trying to trying to figure that out with God of War. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Well, yeah, that's the thing is that, and that's the point, my last point that I was trying to get to is that with God of War, you already know what to expect. Like, there is nothing different or unique enough in order for people to look at it and say, oh, wow, like this is an evolution of God of War. The evolution of God of War was 2018.
2018.
Yep. So normally, and this is with movies, other sequels, and everything else with games. The sequel normally doesn't get it's very rare for certain sequels to get high acclaim, because it has to go over one of their biggest titles, which is, pretty much, like God of War 18. Well, that's what I'm saying. But see, Uncharted 1, the difference between Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2 was great. The difference between Witcher 1 between Witcher 2 was great. The difference between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 was great. Like, I mean, this looks like it has more, but not to that degree. That's why I thought that Horizon Forbidden West was going to be PlayStation's big game. Like, because That to me looked like leaps and bounds better than the first game. And that's why I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's what threw me off about with Elden Ring, because I'm like, wait a minute, that was my game that I was thinking like, holy shit, it wasn't my most anticipated game, but I thought that because of what we've seen with Horizon Forbidden West, that looks leaps and bounds better than the first game. God of War Ragnarok to God of War, this doesn't. It looks, you can see that there's enhancements, there's other things within it, there's new creatures and things like that, but it doesn't look like it's even that is evolved, even that stepped like to another plateau in the way. And I'm not saying that there's not differences, but it doesn't seem like it jumped a leap from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2. That's my
Wasn't
point.
that much of a variance to me.
Mega, they even when it comes to Ragnarok, they even kind of mimic the beginning of 2018 in the structure of it, where you're out, you're dealing with something in terms of an animal, you come back and you end up getting into a fight. You know what I'm saying? With one of the Norse gods. Like it was almost, at least on a structure standpoint, like replaying the script of 2018 with a different character that you're fighting and shit like that. But it doesn't, like, it even kind of followed almost the same path in the beginning as the 2018 one that you played as well. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I want to get Pred in on this as well, because I know Pred, he played God of War 2018. Pred, have you picked up Ragnarok or anything like that? Have you played?
No life in the fuck out of this game right now.
What happened?
So I'm no life in the hell out of this game right now. I've been playing since about midnight on launch. I played from midnight till about 2:00 in the afternoon. And then,
wow.
And
nice, Brett. Nice.
And I think I don't know how far I am in the game. It says I'm only 10% in, but I think that's like 10% of like completing all the achievements and shit. I don't know. The trophies, sorry. But I feel like I'm further along in the game than 10% or 12% now. But because I've already got pretty much all the stuff unlocked for my character and stuff like that, as far as his weapons and upgrades and stuff like that. So
damn.
Well, maybe you can give me some answers here, because, like, again, I watch gameplay, and Portal Player in the chat says, like, you really got to play the game. You can't really watch it. But I feel like
give us a feel of it,
I got enough experience here. Like, people are really trying to call this like the greatest, like the 2018 Ragnarok, like the greatest games ever made. Like, I don't necessarily see that. Like, is there something that you're seeing?
I'm not feeling that either. Like,
okay.
My two favorite games of all time are Super Mario 3 and Zelda.
Ooh, Super Mario 3 is a classic, bro. Classic.
Burnout 3 Takedown. Burnout 3 Takedown. My greatest game.
No. Okay, what did I ask about yours? That's my time.
He said it's my time.
So I don't feel like it's like anything more special than the last God of War. Like, and people are comparing. It looks to me. I always thought the original. Let's say the original God of War 2018. It was incomplete. I felt like there was supposed to be more in that game than what I was playing. And I thought when I bought it and played it, I felt like there was going to be DLC for that game when I finished. Like, okay, there's realms I haven't gone to yet. I haven't, even though I didn't platinum it. I think I had to kill one Valkyrie at the end that stopped me from platinum it. But I did pretty much everything in that fucking game, right? But I still felt like there was more coming. I felt like there was DLC coming for that game. So I almost feel like they said, you know what? It's a single player game. Let's not make DLC for it. Let's stop here and let's make God of War 2. Whatever that's going to be at the time. Like, I think at some point they decided to stop where they were at and make God of War Ragnarok, right? And they literally just ended the story where it was at to give you what we have now to finish out the story. Because if they'd have played it out the way this game's going, it would have been a $60 title with 30 plus hours of gameplay involved in this main story and whatever the hell else you do on the side, and they would have never had another God of War for a while, right? Again, I'm not done with this one, so I don't know how it ends yet. I'm sure, I'll let you know next week when I finish it.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it. I feel like when you were kind of discussing Game of the Year, kind of switching topics real quick.
Yeah.
The reason why Elden Ring is so special is because it's new. It's a new game. It's fresh. It brought in a bunch of people, like K Mega said, that would never even touch that genre, would never play it. God of War Ragnarok feels like God of War 2018. There's a few different mechanics in there. Again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't gotten where I'm at yet. There's some different mechanics in the game that were not in 2018 version, but for the most part, it's basically the same gameplay. You walk around, you explore a little bit, you gain some skills, you fight pretty much the same enemies for the most part. You're even going to the same areas. If you think about it, you're going to the same fucking realms that you were in before.
That boat? Are you in that boat again?
You're in a boat sometimes. You're taking this one isn't really a spoiler. I'll say this: you're in a boat, and then there's this other part where you're like in a like what are those scenes called? We have like the Huskies and shit.
You've seen the commercials. Okay, a slide. Yeah, dog sled. Yeah,
like a sled. You're like in a dog sled, and it's like on some areas, but you're in mostly the same realms. There's a few different areas that I've gotten into that I didn't see in the 2018 version, but and obviously I think you'll go to the other realms you didn't go to. I haven't gotten that far yet into the game, but everything, the same characters are there. For the most part, I mean, like nothing's different yet to me. You even like the upgrade system is the same to me. There's nothing, there's nothing different in that aspect of it. It's just, and I think that's the biggest knock I have on it. It hasn't done anything in this version that it didn't do in 2018 that surprises me. Graphically, of course, it looks better. I played on the PlayStation 4 before. This is on the PS5. It looks, like a normal game. It doesn't like. I will say, and I'm gonna throw this out here for crispy. I think Gears look better.
Ooh.
Graphically, because essentially I can compare them the same. You're in barren lands. There's nothing really going on. Every now and then you'll fight some enemies, and that's it. And that's what I think, because I also play Gears on PC too. I think the PlayStation 5 version of God of War, I think the Gears version of on Xbox, I think they're if not at least the same, comparable. I think Gears kind of looks a little bit better to me. And I'm playing on a PS5, 8K fucking TV before anybody runs their goddamn mouth right now. So I think graphically it looks kind of similar. And I think maybe Gears is maybe like even like what was the other Gears DLC that came out? Crispy, help me out.
Highbusters.
I almost think Highbusters looks a little bit better than this right now. And that's just me. Because I played both on PC on Gears and I played on Xbox on Gears. And I think looking at God of War, it kind of looks on par, maybe just slightly less than Highbusters does. So that's just me. And I'm pretty sure someone's in chat saying shit right now, but I haven't looked yet. But everything
it's silent right now. People are shocked.
The one issue I have with the game, and this is maybe just me playing on a PlayStation controller, my reactions are a little slow. Like I try to block and it won't block. I try to I'm hitting something and like in the old God of War, they turn red and they start an attack. You can't block that. If they turn yellow and you do an attack, you can counter it, right? I'm hitting block. I'm hitting, I'm trying to dive out the way or
even
parry or whatever.
Parry, yeah.
And it's like I can't do it. And there's one scene where there's one boss I was fighting, and like there was the little health things you step on. He was standing on top of that motherfucker, and I needed it, and he would not fucking move. It's like
It wasn't
like,
the bear
come on,
in the
bro.
beginning, right?
Like, yeah, he was cock blocking on that shit,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get past it, and it was like it
That was
was
a big
killing me
ass
because I was like,
bear, bro. That was a
and
big
it,
ass
and it
bear.
kept going to that same spot. It was like, man, every time I need that health, he's on it. Like, what the fuck is the problem? I thought I was being cheated. So like, it's kind of like when you're playing like Sekiro or you know, some of those harder games like that, or Elden Ring. You know, like you're getting the timing down. And again, it could just be me with the controller playing on a different controller. Like I'm trying to dive, trying to parry, trying to block, and I'm not getting the response out of the controller that I felt like I should be getting. You know, there's some other aspects of the gameplay that like you play as Atreus a little bit in the game, because he has a different storyline too, and that's what bothers me about the game. I'll say this too: the storyline, it kind of takes you onto different stories that are more because people say movie like, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's not really gameplay. It's more of
Cinematic.
you like, yeah, it's more cinematic kind of gameplay. It's cinematic. Like you're more doing things, and it kind of takes you out of the game and puts you into a different area. You know,
Huh.
kind of like I use like this. Remember um Assassin's Creed? How like you're doing all the shit in Assassin's Creed, and then you got to go back to the Animus, and you have those
Yeah,
stupid ass missions in the Animus that don't seem like they belong there.
right.
You go out of the
It kind of
Animus, yeah.
it breaks away from again. It's part of the storytelling part of it, and it does feed into the story and why you're doing things the way you're doing things. But
But at
it
the
kind of
time, it
breaks
don't
away.
make sense. Yeah.
It just no, it just breaks away from the action. Like you're trying to get the story done, but yet it takes you to this other little segment to do something else that doesn't really pertain to the story of the game. And
Mm.
that's hard. I don't want to say that because someone's gonna trash me for saying this later. It involves the story, but it takes you away from the action of the main story. If
They
that makes any
chop
sense.
the pace, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and it's like the
Sounds
pace
like
slows down
what
for
Quantum
that
Break
section,
did.
huh?
Sounds like what Quantum Break did a little bit sometimes.
With the
Yeah,
show, if you watch the show while playing,
yeah,
Yeah.
but you're still interacting with the game. You're still doing stuff. There's still sequences where you fight and stuff like that. But like, you know, like I'm trying not to spoil anything, so
yeah,
I'm pausing what
well,
I'm saying.
I mean, I think we get the idea of what you're saying, and in
Yeah,
terms of the pacing, like it just they like chop it, and all of a sudden, there's certain instances where you're doing what you're doing, and the pace is just brought down to a level. It
kind of
kind of
like
takes you
Halo
out of it.
3 when you're playing with Master Chief, and then all of a sudden you're playing with what was it, Halo 3, I think, where you're playing with Master
That was
Chief, and then you
two
got
with, and he played
was
the Arbiter.
Arbiter,
yeah, I think it was 3. Was it 2 or
That
3?
was two. That was two.
Okay, yeah, it feels kind of like that. You're playing with, you know, God of War, then you play with Atreus for a couple of scenes. You know, it breaks it up. So it's like
So I got you. It's completely. It's like Spider-Man. Like, okay, so you'll be doing whatever you're doing,
and then you play with
and
you're playing
you're playing as
yeah,
Miles, or you're
yeah,
playing as Mary Jane. Yeah, okay, I got what you're saying now.
yeah.
All right,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's still it's still gameplay. You're still playing, but like you're so used to playing this, you know, um, the main character, and then they swap you over to Atreus, and it's like, you know, it's like, okay, I don't want to play as him. You know, I want to finish out this story with him. You know, um, but again, it still follows a story. But it's just like, I guess in the sense, to me, it kind of breaks away from, you know, the gameplay mechanics because you're doing stuff with another character, and
huh?
and he's got sidekick characters with him. So, and you'll see if you've ever watched gameplay or we're getting to the game, you'll see what I'm talking about at some point. It kind of takes away from, you know, playing with Kratos, playing with him, you know. But the story is just being told differently in a sense, and it doesn't
Well,
make it a bad story. It just makes it a little harder for you to stay in the action because you have to kind of break away from the main action with Kratos to go to that story.
Pred, it's interesting that you say that because like when they started the whole God of War 2018, and as you know, people started playing that, like I could swear I heard that this whole Norse mythology God of War is supposed to be a trilogy, But now I'm hearing even from the developers, they're like, we wanted to give a good kind of like conclusion to the Norse story with Ragnarok, basically saying like this whole Ragnarok arc, it's only 2 games. Then like this is the last one when it comes to Ragnarok. So the reason why that's interesting is I wonder if they tried to kind of jam every aspect to get like the story in there and maybe kind of jumbled it up that way. You know what I'm saying? To kind of really flesh out what's going on, because I know a lot of it does center around Atreus and what he means to Ragnarok. You know what I'm saying? What his purpose is, because that like you can look at the very start of the game and he's talking about that, like who he
Yeah,
is and that whole thing. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in that far of the game where I can answer that question. But
But it's
I
something to
could
kind of keep an
see.
eye on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If they try
I
to
can
like
see them
cram that
building
all in
his
there.
story and kind of like transitioning, kind of like with Gears when they took, they stopped doing stuff with the main character and started using his son, and then kind of transferred over to the girl, whatever. I could see them kind of slowly transitioning over to Atreus' story,
Yeah, I think
and
Master Clown in the chat said it absolutely right. He's like
Yeah, no, I
overlapping
saw that.
stories
The
that trip
stories,
up the
yeah.
cadence of the game, the cadence
what do you
or the
say?
pace. He said overlapping stories that trip up the cadence of the game. Basically, I
Yeah,
think that's a
and
good
and
way
like
to good way to say it.
I know I'm no life in this game because I know Dark isn't here. He's like, well, I'm trying to take my time and enjoy it. His
Yeah, I thought he
20
might come
hours into
today. Like I don't know.
yeah,
We'll wait.
I asked her. He was like, he said he didn't know, but like, I'm still putting the time in the game. I'm still doing everything that you would do if you play 20 hours in the game. I'm just doing all my 20 hours in one fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Or 40 hours, however it's gonna be. You can space your shit over fucking 3 weeks if you want to, but Pred's gonna play this shit in like 4 days and be done with this shit and move on to
Mm-hmm.
something else. And I'll do everything
Yep.
in the game that you're gonna do over the 2 weeks it's gonna take you to fucking beat it. So like, I mean, I'm not rushing the game. I'm doing everything. I've missed so far. I know I've missed one crate, and I know exactly where it's at. And I missed one of those little. I won't say Valkyries, but it's kind of like the equivalent of those. And I knew I missed it. And I was
Oh,
like,
so
I'll
they
come back
do
to
have
this
something
again.
to the equivalent of the Valkyries in this as well.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're I forgot what they're called, but they're not. I have not seen. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I've not seen the Valkyries like that in the previous, but they do have them kind of sort of in the game. You'll get to that later when y'all play it. So, but
Okay.
there's something equivalent to that you have to beat, and I'm sure at some point you have to get to the point you have to beat like the head Valkyrie, which pissed me off last game because I couldn't beat the last one. But
Oh shit!
She
I
was
think
a
I mean,
Mega
she was
it's
a
a
did.
good
I
game.
think
monster.
Mega did it.
Yes,
Mega did
Yeah,
it.
she's a
yeah.
monster. She
I
is a
got her down like a
monster.
couple of times. Like, I mean, I just got tired of trying, man. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck
she
this.
had everybody's powers in one plus her
Yeah,
own.
and
Like
yeah,
what? Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I stopped trying to platinum it because I was like, I'm never gonna beat this bitch, and so I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, the few things I have left to platinum this is the one I really need, and everything else is gonna be easy after that. And I just couldn't do it. I just screw it. I'll come back to it later. I never did, and I moved on to the shit. But the main
Yep.
story was beat at that point anyway. But I mean, it's a great game. Don't let any of my top what I've said discourage anyone from playing. It's still a really really good game. I don't think it's gonna. To me, it's still not my game of the year right now. And I don't know if it will be. I think Elden Ring is still my game of the year so far.
Dude, yeah, Elden Ring was just it was so fresh. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of people and like K Mega brought it up, man. It just brought so many more people to a genre that was labeled as absolutely niche. You're either a quote unquote Dark Souls gamer or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And it brought a lot of the people who said they would never get into those games into Elden Ring and absolutely loving it, including me. Dude, like I had a lot of fun. I didn't beat it. I'm gonna go back and beat it, but my time with it, man, it was absolutely insane. I can't do the K Mega thing, man. I can't just sit there and rock on a long ass game until it's done, man. I got service games to play like NBA and shit like that. As well,
like
you know what I'm
like
saying?
Fred said, man, it ain't no need to be bullshitting. Just get it over with, get it done. Get it done.
I hear you, man. But we gotta get Crispy in on this. Now, Crispy, you already heard you heard Predator talk about Gears when it comes to God of War, and like which was really surprising. But I know you've heard it. People saying like God of War 2018, Ragnarok, the greatest games ever made. From what you've seen, I'm pretty sure you've seen the gameplay and stuff like that. Like, is there anything that you see that would point that game in that direction to carry that label?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Take
that as a no, man.
Let me. Well, number one, like everybody's like Elden Ring versus God of War. Okay, that's what everybody's saying at this point. And one technically has some multiplayer elements to it, and the other has zero. Again, big exclusive, best game ever made. Has none. Elden Ring, you can summon people. I think that's what they call it, right?
You can summon people, or you can invade,
summons.
You can invade other people.
Oh, you can invade people.
Well.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody praised Death Stranding for this. I mean, at least the PlayStation fanboys. So, I mean, Elden Ring already has the most ridiculous score I've seen in a long time. And it has multiplayer in it. Well,
that is true.
What's Crispy gonna side with?
Oh shit!
It's called keep that same fucking energy. Come on, man. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry. I mean, Pred, from what I've seen, and I can go and watch on the same TV. People play Gears and people play God of War, and guess what? Gears just looks a little bit better. But wait, there's more. Where's the PlayStation 4? Oh, it's right there. And I'm curious if we're going to separate the two like everybody does with Xbox. How much is sold on PlayStation 4? I would be interested to know. But that's okay, because you know what? People got games to play. Oh, wait. I see people talking shit about Xbox while supposedly playing the game. Well, I follow enough PlayStation gamers, and I see them saying not a damn word and barely posting anything about this game. I'm quite interested in that. I'm curious why it is not your cup of tea. Oh wait, you talk shit about Xbox the entire time. It has to be your cup of tea. Oh wait, I know people that have seen you on Xbox and not playing PlayStation. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, how about them apples? Why don't you be honest with yourselves and say, multiplayer actually matters? And instead of capping for a console that refuses to do it with their exclusives, how about you call them out? Just like I would if Xbox was doing the same thing. Because you know what? I've said they have a problem with freaking single player games. And I've said this many times. Okay? And they have made great games that have both. But people ignore them because guess what? They get separate scores for those games. Interesting. So do you get points minused off when you don't have both? That is something I would love to know. And also, don't attack one freaking place that says, nah, I don't like the game. When there's like hundreds and upon hundreds of people trolling Xbox and people hating on them and all you see is like these weird freaking actual like Metascore type freaking reviews out there, and you're like, oh, this is fine. Oh wait, they just basically said they don't like Xbox without saying they don't like Xbox. There's a huge difference, okay? And when you guys are so bored because your game is single player and you want to play your Warzone on Call of Duty, guess what? You're going to talk shit about Xbox instead of talking about the fucking game that you're supposed to be playing. Excuse
Crispy,
me,
really
sir.
back into God of War, Crispy.
Good way to yeah.
Really back into God of War.
I was enjoying this though, man. I really was.
I just did.
Okay.
Dude, I see people bringing out like screenshots again. This is all about this. The Series S is holding back everything. Well, why is God of War on PlayStation 4?
Because
Explain
it was made
that
for
to me.
PlayStation 4. That's why.
So how is this helping anything? How is all the shit you talked transpired to this? That's where I go and say, Pred, you are correct. Because Gears 5 is pretty fucking amazing. And it has a quite less quick time events than any God of War I've seen in the past fucking 5 years.
Unreal, man.
Okay?
They are wizards with Unreal.
They're gonna make it. I'm telling you, you watch. All of a sudden, it's built in Unreal Engine 5, and freaking the Coalition is building that animated series behind Netflix.
See, I think the animated series is going to look like anime, man. Like, I got to disagree with
no,
you.
why?
They're going to try to dip.
We are talking about Gears here.
I know.
No,
anime is the popular shit right now. It's going to look like anime. I can almost guarantee that, man.
Well, that's if Netflix is dumb.
Then we get back to Gears again. I stepped away for a minute and I thought it was God of War.
Well, then you wouldn't know how we got back to Gears because you stepped away, Sir X-Man.
All I can say is you must have been talking to Crispy.
Oh,
God of War has no multiplayer. What else has no multiplayer?
I know, bro.
Every single one of their exclusives lately. What happened to SOCOM? What happened to it?
I mean,
if you can't even give people factions that came out with the original game. Okay, no. It's the original game that is a remake remaster doesn't have a multiplayer. For the love of God, Sony. Okay, multiplayer matters to people. People want to conversate with each other or a reason to do so instead of sitting there. So what do? They take. I'm going to play God of War. They might be playing it, but they're going to talk shit about Xbox on Twitter because they have nobody to talk to.
Well, Crispy,
okay, that is the difference.
I'm going to put a hashtag on Twitter. PlayStation, first party, no multiplayer.
Hold on, but Crispy, I got good news for you because it leaked out that they are working on an MMO that's in the world of Horizon.
We knew that.
Something I talked about. I talked about that 3-4 years ago. I talked about that when I first heard about it.
Can we get a golf clap? I mean, you have all these.
It's a multiplayer game.
You have all of the. I mean, this is what we went through with Xbox. Like, where's the games? You know what I'm saying? We're doing this again. And Xbox, dude, you fucked up this year. But you don't hear a Sony guys say that about their fucking shit.
Yo, Crispy,
like, dude, what the fuck, dude?
I gotta let
Where's
you know.
the multiplayer games?
Crispy,
I mean, where are they?
Crispy, Master Clown thinks that you should be in the Netflix Gears movie. By the way, he put it in the chat. He's like, you should be in the movie. And he put.
I mean, that would be like bucket list status. Like,
yeah,
he does.
I'm paired in, motherfucker. If I die after, I don't care. I'm in the movie.
You don't care. He'll be civilian number 23, like running down the street. He don't give a shit. Like,
hey, on the God of War subject, real quick, I want to ask Pred a question. Pred, if this game had a release day one, the God of War Ragnarok, also on PC, would you have got it for the PC or the PS5?
PC.
Yep.
He's an elitist.
I'd have got it for PC.
I would have got it for PC as well too.
Thank you.
You know why?
Yep.
it's gonna look better. B, I can play it on my Steam Deck.
And you can play with your Xbox controller.
And I
Yeah.
could get it off of, and I could have pre-ordered it off of CD Keys for 10 for 10
way less.
10 $12 $10
And if I get
$15
on
less.
Steam, I can return it.
And we'd
That
have
is
better,
true.
and we'd have better
That is true.
graphics than the PS5.
Oh,
Oh, he said we. Did you hear you say we?
Uh-huh. When my
he's
4090
in there.
get here.
He's in there.
Hey, he got a 3090, but I got a 3060. So
Me and
No,
Bob
no,
are
I
in the
didn't
realm
know.
of the PCMR.
I ordered a 4090.
oh, you ordered one of them motherfuckers?
PCMR
You
is
better,
here.
you better go out and get the aftermarket plug-in, dude. Don't get the original plug-in. Get the
I'm
aftermarket.
about to build a whole new PC for this motherfucker. So
Yeah, that card
It's
is
a magical
big.
plug-in.
You're not
Jesus.
going to get the new AMD graphics card, bro?
no.
He said
No,
no.
what is-
No. Why did you do that?
Y'all
I heard
were
it's
too rich
good.
for my blood. I'm gonna upgrade to the 3070 or 3080, but I damn sure ain't getting no 4060.
4090.
I mean 4090, whatever the hell it
right,
is.
that's-
It sounds so expensive. I can't even
Hey,
say
why
the
don't you
numbers
wait?
right.
There's not
40
even math
the
involved
4070
anymore. It's just
will be
like, hey,
coming
let's
out.
just throw
Hold
a
up.
number out
The
there.
4070 will be coming out soon, and it'll be way cheaper than the 4090, and it'll give you super high-end graphics for what you running right now, K-Mega.
Yeah.
Yo, Crispy.
Let's start with a 4.
Yo, Crispy. Jonathan Ball saying something in the chat. He says, you got to sharpen up your team deathmatch skills if you want to be in the series, bro. What's going on with that?
Yeah,
You and
sure. Literally, I haven't played with you in how long, sir?
I was gonna say you and Ball went in together.
How
bro?
long?
What's going on?
How long? I think I would say 6 months. That's about right. 6 months.
Crispy, all you gotta do is say challenge accepted. That's all you gotta say, bro. That's all you gotta say.
No. I haven't played with him in 6 months.
Yeah, so you don't
All
know.
of a sudden, a movie is announced, and then he's chit chatty again. Huh?
Well, guys,
Salute, sir. Salute.
guys, real quick, I wanna roll the two of the topics from last week into one kind of like question for you guys. All right, and we'll go through that, and then we'll see where we are at the end of that, because
It'll be persona time. You know what I'm saying? So so after we done with that, there ain't gonna be no more discussion.
I said we'll see where we're at. I said we'll see where we're at, bro.
You be here by yourself.
Right.
Let me ask a question.
I'm over here just dangling around. I'm over here trying. I got to get into this palace, man. This is my second to the last palace. Hurry up, man.
You want to let me ask a question then, man? Because two pieces of news came out on kind of like the Sony side of things. First off, the PSVR 2 price. When it releases, it is going to be $550. Now, I will give you my opinion on that real quick. I feel that with the price of the original PSVR, kind of like the core price for just the headset, looking at like everything that comes with it now, I don't think they're giving an option to just buy the headset. It's the headset with the controllers. You don't need
that takes it up to $650.
Listen, you don't need the PlayStation camera anymore. It is $550 for the bundle for the headset with the controllers. So with them establishing the price for their headset with the original, I don't think that they're veering too far off from what they already established, and they're not giving you that quote unquote core option, because the new controllers, unless they would sell the new controllers separately, and which would probably still add up to it's in the same ballpark in my opinion.
Don't forget about the $50 charging base you got to buy for it,
but
separately.
You can't charge it any other way.
No, you got to buy the charging base or plug it in via USB.
Yeah, that's the other way, Sir X-Man. So you can charge it.
You know what I mean.
You can charge it. Okay. All right. So I want to ask you guys about that price point, and I do want to ask you, because it came out that when PlayStation revamped their PlayStation Plus and they put like PS Now, PlayStation Plus together, and they did the whole tier system, it seems that they have lost 2 million subscribers to PlayStation Plus. So I want to get your thoughts on that as well, because there's so many people out there talking about how many games you get with PlayStation Plus. So many people talking about the PlayStation Plus offerings from month to month are so much better than games with gold. And with that, I tell them, well, you're trying to compare apples to oranges in that whole situation. But I don't think
it's late. The Mogwai's coming.
I don't think anybody was expecting them to lose 2 million subscribers when they kind of revamped what they were doing with PlayStation Plus and putting it together with PlayStation Now. So those two questions rolled into one. I'm gonna start with Predator on this one. So Predator, you got the PSVR 2 headset price and the fact that PlayStation Plus lost 2 million subscribers. What are your thoughts on those, man?
So I think I thought 500.
So they went 50 over what you were thinking.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be about 500. So I still think that's for a device. I would say this: if it was 500 and it was a standalone product, you didn't need to have to hook it up to the
you
the
didn't
PlayStation
need another
5
$400 or $500 piece of hardware.
And I think when we talked about this before, I was like, so it's hard enough to find a PlayStation 5. At least back then, you can find some now, but it was so hard to get a PlayStation 5 back then. And now you're telling me I got to get a fucking another $500, $550 now device. That's that's 4090. That's a 3080 graphics card, basically. That's a lot of fucking money just to start off with. And and I've always said, if I was spending that kind of money on something like that, I need to get those experiences for free with my VR headset. You know what I'm saying? I need a Game Pass type shit for PSVR if I'm going to be spending that kind of money on a device, because I don't even know. I don't think they've ever said how much the games are. I think I've heard some people say they're going to be between $30 and $40, but I still see myself.
Shits are gonna be 70, bro. I
have no. We don't know, and that's the thing. It could be 70. It could be 70.
I think it's
and just see how things fizzled out with PlayStation VR, the original, the last couple of years. I'd be very leery to fucking put my money into it now, because the only people that are supporting it, there's very few people that are supporting it. It's kind of like the Kinect. When it first came out, people were putting shit in there, but then developers man, we ain't got time for this shit, bro. This game's already taking too long to make. Unless this is a PSVR centric, this is a VR centric game, you're not gonna get. I don't think you're gonna get those experiences in games like you were getting on a regular basis. I'll say it that way. You're not gonna see a VR version of Madden. You're not gonna see even if you buy Madden, I don't think it's gonna be a separate VR version of it. They're gonna have to rely on third party for it, because I don't even see. At least I don't remember Sony. Maybe they funded some shit and they have a couple of studios, but they're not knocking games out enough for me to justify having a $500 fucking.
I think they said they're gonna have something like 11 games at launch.
Yeah, at launch. Yeah, it's a launch though. You're supposed to have games at launch. At least, it's crazy that Microsoft didn't do it, but you're spending $500 on something like that. There should be, and I don't even know if this is true or not. Someone correct me. I don't even know if the original games are back in pat, or are they not?
They're not. You know what they're doing?
Nope, they're not.
Hold on. You know what they're doing?
God
Fred,
damn.
do you know what they're doing?
You have to pay $10 to get them upgraded.
No, they are making ports, PSVR 2 ports. So basically they are going to resell the games that people have already owned for PSVR 1. They are going to resell them.
That is
for PSVR 2.
Crazy. And I can't.
I can't. He's I can't. I just can't do it.
Don't forget, a lot of those games you can't carry over your game save if you buy a remake.
You got to play them again. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man. And so nothing about the PSVR 2 entices me. The price doesn't. The games don't. Everything we just talked about just now doesn't. It's to me, it's I'm gonna be real interested to see how many people pick it up. because I think people will buy it because it's new tech. People love new tech. But how many people are going to still be using this shit in a year? And I had the same conversation with the Luna, and like who's going to continue to use this shit in a year, and when there's no games or they're very frequent, like they're not coming up.
Dude, you were spot on with PSVR 1 in terms of them supporting that.
You got to have content for something like that. Now you're asking me to spend $550 for something. I'm going to get what? Maybe 3 games a year that I want to play. And it gets to the point where you feel like you have to buy games because you spend so much money on the system itself.
Don't forget tax is going to kick you to 600, Fred.
What's that?
Tax on 550 is going to kick you close to 600.
It ain't kicking me to shit because I ain't buying it. But I just, and then with the I think you had mentioned something about their numbers for was it the PlayStation?
Yeah, they lost 2 million subscribers, man, which is weird.
I mean, think about it. You change the structure on something that a lot of people didn't understand, and then you got a competitor out there, with a subscription service, and okay, look at it this way. You have your system at a core is based off of single player games, right? Why are you paying for online networking if your system basically is? I mean, I get to get third party shit like Call of Duty, et cetera, like that, Fortnite and shit like that. I got it. Yeah, I'm sure someone's in chat about to say something else. Just stop typing. Just listen. Like your system as a core, though, is based off of single player experiences. Okay, your competition is giving you all that shit cheaper for the most part, game wise. They're giving you multiplayer games in Game Pass in their subscription service, and they're getting games day and date.
And this is what I think probably for all those games.
Those PlayStation knuckleheads that was so fucking hardcore, that was so against getting a goddamn Xbox, got one. They got a fucking Series S, and they're loving that shit. And they're playing the fuck out of that shit right now. And they're probably thinking like, this new subscription service came out, they won't even spend how much on this shit? I don't even understand this tier shit. But I'm spending $10, $15 a month, and I'm getting all these fucking games day and date in Xbox. Why the fuck would I continue my subscription service for PlayStation right now? What online games do they have in the system that I want to buy? None. What games they're putting out day and day I want to buy? None. Except for God of War. Well, no, none. They're not putting any out. So like, like, oh, and I got to spend $70 now? Man, fuck you. I'm going to stay over here with this Series S. Matter of fact, I'm going to either build my PC up or I'm going to save up some money and get a Series X. So let me see how these numbers look. They're going to be skewed right now because God of War is out, right? I bought my PlayStation 5 for God of War. I admitted that shit a long time ago. That's why I wanted to get it when I got it. So I can be ready for God of War 5. I won't touch this PlayStation 5 outside of that once I'm done with this game. I won't touch it. There's nothing coming out.
What about Gran Turismo 8?
Service? Well, there's Stellar Blade comes out next year. You got like what for
next year? When?
It's slated for next year. I don't
exactly. It's slated, right? Give me dates. Give me some dates. I have no fucking clue. PSR is going to be their selling point for the beginning of the year, and I have no fucking idea what the fuck's coming out the rest of the year. I know they got some dates thrown out there and some slots or spring of
Spider-Man 2 is slated for next year too, man.
Who?
Spider-Man 2.
When is Sony
that shit,
ever?
He said that shit as like he didn't know him. Who? I know that motherfucker.
I know what you said, but when is Sony release a game on? When is Sony release a goddamn single player game on time?
Dude, don't ask me that question because I can't tell.
I can't answer it either. Yeah. It never happened. So like, I mean, and I hate to say it, but like, between last year wasn't the best for them. They had some games come out. Don't get me wrong. They had a couple of games come out. I don't think they sold as well as they wanted to. They wanted them to. God of War's going to sell. And then after God of War, the numbers are going to be skewed for God of War. It's going to look amazing for a couple months. This quarter's going to look great for them. But come January, after the holidays, it's going to look a little spooky over there. Mark my words. It's going to look a little spooky. they're gonna make money off PSVR because some dumbasses out there are gonna buy it, you know, and they're gonna be mad about it. It's gonna be
About
buying
100 people will buy it. About 100.
No,
people.
it is sell because people like tech. They like tech. But keep in mind, you gotta have a PlayStation 5 to use this shit. So
Yep.
find one of those.
He said
If you
find
ain't
one of
already got
those.
Find one of them motherfuckers if you ain't got one already. I mean, they're out there. They're easy to, you can find them.
They're out there more now. They're out there more
Yeah,
now.
they're out there more now. But I mean, I got one, and I just went on Amazon and got it in 3 days. I was surprised, but they're out there. But it's not as easy to walk into a brick and mortar store and buy one as it should be. But I mean, I understand why the numbers went down. Like, I mean, I just don't see myself spending that kind of money on a multiplayer, you know, like to have that online experience and everything with the way they have it set up when they're not really putting anything out there just from them. I can play Call of Duty on Xbox, on PC, you know, on other systems without, you know, and get more out of buying it there than I'm going to get out of buying it on their system. If that makes any sense. The online structure of the subscription service on Xboxes makes more sense to me than, you know, apples or oranges. I got both systems. Which one do you think I'm going to spend my money on? The Xbox. So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, even with God of War coming out, that's not a multiplayer game. So what do I need an online service for?
I mean,
I don't need cloud saves. I can save it to my hard drive. Like, you know, that give me a benefit out of buying it. So it's like, why pay for it? So that's why the numbers went down. Don't make any sense to people.
I mean, you make a lot of sense, bro. I'm not gonna lie when it comes to that.
He hit it on a nail on a lot of them subjects right there.
Well,
he did.
Sir X-Man, you're actually up.
No. Save me for last.
Why you want to be last, man? You want
the Mogwai is gonna come out.
Oh, okay.
Save me for last.
All right. So I'm looking at the clock. All right. I'm waiting for the Mogwai. So let's go to Crispy on this one. Now, Crispy, you heard my question. $550 PSVR 2. And not only that, but we rolled two questions into one. So I also want to hear about, you know, your response to which something I was surprised with. PlayStation Plus lost 2 million subscribers ever since they kind of revamped that into their subscription service. Man, what are your thoughts on these?
Yeah. What? Why are we even talking about this? I mean, it's total logic. I mean, come on. Really think about it. Okay. VR, great. VR is tethered to the PS5. Sure, maybe somebody can pull a workaround or something like that if Sony allows them. It's almost like dealing with Apple. Like, you're not using anything that Apple doesn't approve. Same thing goes for Sony. So you're going to pay with a game close to $1,300 to play VR if you don't have PlayStation 5 or the VR. Think about that. Call of the Mountain. That's their
Hold on, where'd you get $1,300? Where'd you get $1,300 from?
Action games. You gotta buy some games to go with
$550.
He said
and $550.
$550
plus tax.
Oh, okay. So we're adding tax. Got you.
Plus the system and some
Can
games.
we not add tax? I mean,
you gotta get games to go with.
You know,
it,
in Connecticut, they love to add tax too. So you know what I'm saying? Like we definitely.
I mean, you know, and I mean, I paid a lot for my Series X. It was like $620 after taxes.
God damn.
And well, no, I got a game and a controller.
Okay.
But it was a bundle. But I mean, you know, this was, you know, right at the beginning. You know what I mean? So I was lucky, but at the same time, we're not at the beginning anymore. It's why are you doing this if you're, I mean, I think, what is it? It's 12 launch games?
11.
Right?
11, 12. It's in
that. The Call of the Mountain is their game.
Yes.
Other than that, the big headliner. all the other games that are launching with it are actually Quest games. MetaQuest, whatever you want to call it. Those are Quest games.
Yeah.
They're launching like when the Xbox One was like, yeah, you got to get Connect for these games. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you've had it out just like the Connect was out on the 360. Everybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like trying to support it, they're doing the exact opposite. The exact opposite. Can anybody find a medium? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at it and say, okay, there is a place for this, but what does it require? It requires choice. Okay? So for $5.50, why not allow people and just say it? If it's possible, just say, hey, you could play this on your PC. Okay? They're not going to do that. Now, like I've heard, because it's supposedly USB-C, you should be able to use it elsewhere. But they won't say it. And I also think software side, they would actually try to make sure that you have to have a PlayStation 5 to use this. So the clarification's not there, dude.
If they really wanted to sell it to more people, though, and if it is compatible with, say, like a PC or something like that, they should come out and say, like, you can even use it for your PC games and stuff. More people would pick it up at that point.
They say they're supposed to.
You're going to sell more. I mean, you're going to sell more product. It's just like you go and look at the 2 million people that said, "Nah, I'm good, bro," because you have a competing platform that provides you with exclusive games immediately. Okay. Now, yes, there's DLCs involved. You can go into all that whole aspect. Okay. But, you're not paying full price. Well, on the other side, you're paying full price in certain games. I mean, maybe like I've said this before, maybe Gran Turismo was an experiment for them. Okay. We've seen it with Xbox. All right. The problem is that they are charging more for their highest tier, and you don't get God of War Ragnarok. When the next Gears comes out, I get Gears. The next Halo comes out, I get Halo. Next Forza comes out,
you get Redfall, you get Starfield.
We're not even going into that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like Forza Motorsport.
We're gonna play into their hand. We're gonna just acknowledge the fact that we get Gears, Halo, and Forza. Well, guess what? You get no God of War. You get no Spider-Man. You get no, what else? Ratchet and Clank. You get no Forspoken. You get it. You get Stray.
You get Stray.
That's what you get.
You get Stray.
You get Stray. Okay. One game I would definitely, if I had a PlayStation, I would play it because I love cats, and that's something I've said. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest. So people are looking at that, okay, and they're like, nah. Some people are like you, Bot, because you've called out Phil 100 times. High fidelity VR. Mm-hmm. We all remember that.
Hey, if you
some people are like, bro, I gotta spend another $5.50, and I get, I have the subscription and all this. People are getting overwhelmed by them, and they are doing this them, and that's where I've said a few times, like, is PlayStation trying to sabotage themselves? That's kind of how I feel at this point. I've watched companies do some really dumb shit, including Xbox. Yeah. So I don't know, dude. All I gotta say is that Call of the Mountain is, from what I've been told from VR people, very linear, almost like 5 years behind of where it should be. Okay? And it's not what VR is now. Now, regardless of resolution and all these other things, there are VR headsets that are affordable that do not have a wire involved.
I will say, Crispy.
To some people, that matters.
Crispy, I will say, when it comes down to it, when this VR headset comes out, it will be the most advanced technologically like headset out there. Now it might be anchored to one specific console, like we're talking about. But when it does come out, like all the tech that's inside it, it will be the most technically advanced VR headset that can be purchased.
No. I'm not the. There's no argument there. The problem is that there's more technically advanced headsets that if you are only into VR, which PlayStation is apparently counting on with the $550 price tag, is that you only play VR because there are people like that, okay? Or you play on PC VR, or you play on just PC, or you play on VR, and you look at this and you say, okay, so if I could buy the headset and I could connect it to my PC, I'm a happy camper. I'll do that in a second.
Mm.
But because as of now, you cannot do that, you have to, if you don't have a PlayStation 5, you have to spend over $1,000, and you can get a very good VR headset for $1,000 and have all these other things that are involved with playing the games that Sony hasn't proven yet. Nobody's played it. So what are you going to do at that point? If you don't want the PlayStation 5, if you don't want the exclusives, and you want the VR, and there's one exclusive that you feel like you played 5 years ago, because that's where it was, you can't even have, Half-Life Alyx or something like that yet.
But
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, they did ink a deal. Half-Life Alyx is going to PSVR too.
Oh, it is going, okay? What about isms? All right? Like, and don't get me wrong, like, we've had this with Xbox. Like, dude, I will sit here and be like, dude, this is the worst. But last year, I don't know, they were developer of the year, okay? Clearly, easily last year. And people argued with me about this, and I'm like, dude, like, what did Sony come out with last year? Okay? The thing is that I'm just happy that Xbox is like, hey, we got to make games. And you know what? If you don't come out with good shit next year, I'm going to rake you through the fucking coals. Because you know what? That is not what I want.
Well,
and yeah, I might get games with the 2 million subscriber thought process. I might get games for what I pay for the subscription day and day. But because I already have that and I've already invested in that, I am absolutely going to call them out if next year is like this year, because I will have a problem with that. Okay. And we've all heard about all the games that were supposed to come out this year. So I am always skeptical. And that's the whole damn point. Even if I had a PlayStation 5, I would be like, well, why am I getting this? You know what I mean? When I could pay $100 less for something that has more games right off rip. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just saying.
I hear you, bro. And shout out to Master Clown X3, brother. He says the games in VR are also lackluster. They feel incomplete or demos. And Master Clown, I will say majority of them can definitely be that way. But like me and Crispy were talking about, Half-Life Alyx. I think that is kind of like the pinnacle of a virtual reality game right now, and that is going to PSVR 2. We really don't know, kind of like the scope of the Horizon virtual reality game yet. So and I think you bring up something really, really good, because I don't hear a lot about VR games anymore either. Whether it's PC or anything like that, when the VR headsets first came out, a lot of developers were developing for the headsets, whether they're on PC or later, PlayStation VR. but recent history, man, I haven't heard like IGN or any of the gaming media talk about that next big VR game or anything. Have you guys on the panel? Am I just missing something? Because like I haven't heard anybody talking anything about like that next VR game.
Nobody cares.
Quite a while.
There haven't really been any out.
So
I think like Sony might release. I mean, like again, I'm separating PC from console when I say this, but I think Sony released maybe 2 or 3 last year, but the thing is, you're not even hearing about like
PC.
Like even with third party games that are like complete regular games, they used to put like a VR. I think the last like a little VR experience in there.
Like
I think
Resident
the
Evil.
last one I could think of, like, I was about to say Resident Evil. I think it was one of the Resident Evils, Biohazard, whatever the fuck it was called. I think they did, but like that's kind of like the last one I can think of off the top of my head that did that. And everybody else, it's not even an option. Like what I don't want to see Sony do, what I think they're doing now is they're taking that out. Like Horizon, Forbidden West, they're making a VR game for it, and they're not putting the VR experience inside the actual game itself. They're making, you know what I'm saying? So like in the past, they would do that. Like, oh, here's the game, and for people who own a VR headset, here's this little experience you can, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that's included with the base game.
Yeah.
Now they're separating the two. They're probably charging $70 for Horizon, another $70 for the VR game that's going to come out. So
that's what I'm thinking.
But I think Horizon is more of a standalone VR game, so I get what they're doing with that. But I could see Sony, as cheap as they are, how greedy they are, doing that and making that the standard, not even including that anymore. And if you want that VR aspect of the game, you got to spend another $30 on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can include it. You can buy the game, and like, oh, do you want the VR aspect of it? Here's spend another $30 for it. When it used to be free.
Let's be honest. When it comes to Sony, their other divisions don't necessarily, make that corporation money. So they're trying to get as much money as they can out of the PlayStation, because the PlayStation is basically funding everything else under the Sony umbrella.
Sony hat, yeah. Now I do think they have 1 or 2 VR only studios, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know what they're doing. I haven't really paid attention because I don't really care about VR. But with a lot of stuff that you're gonna see on VR, though, think about what came out in the previous PSVR. It was a bunch of either third party or indie shit. Like Crispy was saying,
I still remember.
If I'm going to spend that kind of money on a VR set, I should at least be able to hook it up on PC.
It's funny talking about VR, man. I still remember crap hyping up the Iron Man like VR game, and I'm like, bro, that's not it, bro. That's not it. Calm down, man. Calm down, yo. But let's get K Mega on this one. K Mega, price of PSVR 2 and PlayStation Plus loses 2 million subscribers, man. What are your thoughts on these?
Well, that was the thing, we talked about on GRG last week, was that was my biggest.
Was that your way to try to throw out there was no next podcast, but you did have GRG, so like, people really need to go over to GRG on Fridays because you're consistent? Was that a little shot?
Yeah, shameless plug. It's whatever you want to say.
Don't hate somebody that let their subscribers know when they have a show and when they don't. Don't hate.
Oh, man. Hey, I put it out there on Twitter. You just gotta follow me on Twitter, bro.
Who the fuck watches Twitter?
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, so anyway, so
moving on.
Yeah. Okay, so
Order 66.
For me, the biggest issue was the price, of course, right? But I understand the price point because of what everybody has been telling me, because that I'm not into VR whatsoever.
I heard you.
But everybody. Yeah, I'm not into the eye herpy. So you know what I'm saying, machine. So it's more the thing for me is the price point. I don't like the price point, but for what everybody's saying regarding in the specs wise, that it is big big bang for your buck. Like, so, you know, it's really high tech. It's going to be actually really one of the cheaper headsets in the market for all the specs that it has.
Yes.
Which, okay, cool, right? But there's so many messed up things that Sony has done to not branch out, because the biggest market for VR is the PC market.
Yes, sir.
The PC gamers are the ones that's holding up VR. It's not the PlayStation. So to have that ideology to come in and say and have that peripheral to be, you know, the flashpoint, I just don't know how they sat in their war rooms or whatever they call their business rooms, and then somebody is like, we still have to keep the PlayStation mantra of PlayStation first, everything else is secondary. When you know that peripheral did not sell to expectations. You said the first one did not meet expectations. You said it yourself. And then when it eventually started to sell, it was about $200 cheaper, between $100 to $200 cheaper. So that's when people were looking at it. So what makes you think, because you've added more technology, that everybody's going to jump on board and you're going to sell that much on just the PlayStation 5 alone? Because it would make sense if it was compatible with the PlayStation 4, or the games were compatible, because that gives people, you know, a thought process of like, well, I can't wait to see what my older games look like on this new piece of hardware. But you didn't even do that. So then you exclude the PC gamer. This half-in, half-ass out thought process with Sony is bonkers to me. I don't understand that. Like, I don't know why they thought that this would be something that would attract tens of millions of people to jump onto this device. When you looked at what your numbers are, I don't even know if it broke 10 million lifetime yet. The first one, I don't know. I don't know if it has or not. I know the last time we looked at it was what, 5 million, 6 million, somewhere around there. So to me, when you got something that's that much, and then somebody, let's just say that there's a lot of people that are looking for a PlayStation 5 or want a PlayStation 5, the unicorn is really nowhere to be found. What are you saying to your customers? You have, you know, I understand that you want to have this thought process to all of the entities out there that aren't that invested in PlayStation like that your product is premium. But to your customers, do they feel that that's premium, or do they feel like they're not going to fuck with it? And I feel like most people are not going to fuck with it until the price drops down. So only the hardcore of the hardcore is willing to pay for, and rightfully so. There's what, 20-some million PlayStation 5s out there, but you're not. But if their $70 games ain't pushing, what makes you think a $550 plus tax peripheral is going to push? That's my thought on it. Like, I don't get it. Like, give some incentives to make people want to get it. If you want to go ahead and you want to put you want to get people's games to be backwards compatible, that's a great start.
That
you,
right
you
there
put
is
it,
a major. Yeah. That is a major kind of like setback. And you know,
right,
there are people out there saying that the technology is different, and I say fuck that. The technology is better, right? It is better,
right?
So within that better technology, you can definitely find a way to make the previous titles on the PSVR 1 run on the PSVR 2. But the thing is, with them selling their PlayStation 5 games at $10 more than PlayStation 4 games, I can see them. They feel like they're gonna lose out on money on the software side of things, which is why they didn't make it backwards compatible.
That's why they're gonna resell those old games that were popular to their fan base. And I guarantee you that's gonna be a setback, because for a lot of people out there, they're gonna be looking at this game, man, I bought this game already day one for however much it was, and now you're asking me to pay another, because whatever that, I'm sure that those games that cost for those titles that they picked up on the PSVR 1, they're going to add another $10 for whatever that those games are for the PSVR 2. And people are going to look at that and be like, man, I just bought this game for that. This game better blow my socks off, because there will be some people that will go ahead and, because they may love that particular game that much, and then they will pay it. But for what they are got to show, that thing better be on point. Because if anything, that's just like for anything that you buy, right? And you find out that you're going to have to buy it again, that kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth already. And if the game doesn't look,
in my head is why? Why do I got to buy it again if I bought it the first time? You know what I'm saying?
Right, and yeah, right. And then when you look at it, it's no different than like, okay, with backwards compatibility for Xbox, right? Like people are like, okay, I already bought the game, I like backwards compatibility, but man, why I don't see the advantages on these games when the hardware is better, right? And then Xbox came and fixed that. That's what you expect with it, with a peripheral that's fucking $100 and $50. That shit is a car payment.
Oh shit!
That's crazy. You're telling me that you're paying a much for a damn car payment, and then you can't, and then you're gonna scam me out of you're gonna nickel and dime me out of that's what I'm saying. Like Sony's thought process about losing money, it's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's half of somebody's rent or mortgage or what the fuck ever. Like, that's nuts. That's a lot of money. When you come to think about it, if let's say for Christmas, your kids want a PlayStation 5 and they want a VR. Hell, if they hope that kid don't have siblings. You know what I'm saying? Or shit, little Antoine, little Keisha and little Jackson. They all gonna be PlayStation, and a few VR games and a headset. Y'all all share for Christmas. Ain't nobody gonna be spending money like that. That's crazy. That just don't make any sense to me. But overall, like you know what I'm saying. I know that for people that are excited for VR, I'm happy for them. You know what I'm saying. But for me, I just think that to make it make more sense, even if you erase the whole backwards compatibility thing. Why was that thing not already day one compatible with PC? Because I think then you can at least get close to the number that you're probably expecting going forward, because the competitor that's next to what PlayStation's VR is over $1,000. So how is it that you're going to tell people that this thing is a bargain? And people will tell me that it's a bargain. Cali Rex and all the rest of them like, hey man, that's a bargain. But then the people that look at that and may be tantalized by it, they're looking at it like, well, shit, I'm not buying a PlayStation 5 for that. Do you know how many of those would
sell if they kind of endorse it's compatible with PC?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then at that point, I would still look at it as scummy, but at least I could see them saying, well, at least Sony was smart enough to make that compatible with PC. Now, eventually, it has no choice but to be compatible with PC, because and this is not saying that PlayStation consumers are not going to get the peripheral, but what I'm saying is that there's no way to be committed to have. They weren't committed to the first one, and that thing was $150 cheaper. What the hell makes you think that they're going to pay $250 more just because it's got better specs? It's not happening. Good night, baby. So that's it. So that's my point on it.
When you said goodnight, baby, I thought you were putting that topic to bed. You know, I guess.
Oh well, yeah, I guess she was walking. That might be what it is right there. That was perfect. She walked right past and gave me a kiss.
So you don't have anything to say about the 2 million subs?
I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't like. Look,
they got to do day and date. That's why they lost them.
They got to do day and date, or they got it like God of War. Okay, I can see like a game like God of War, Spider-Man, and Final Fantasy games or something, really big titles that that's going to rank, right? Like I would even do that with the Horizon Forbidden West. You want to do 6 months? Cool. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. But you can get people to be like, okay, I'm invested, because you're still gonna have your day one people that just cannot sit, especially if they're anticipating that game, and to get it. And during that time when people are waiting, for the people that are waiting for those 6 months, you're going to be having people. You'll also have other games that's going to entice them to be like, well, man, shit, I might as well get this already. You know what I'm saying? That just gets people to stay onto your ecosystem. See, this thought process where people are like, well, I'll just get it for $1 and whatever. Sony's hearing that. And Sony thinks that they're going to get scammed the same way like some of these people that they think that they're scamming Game Pass by doing it for $1, then letting it lapse, then doing it again under another name and all that other bullshit. What they're not understanding is that the majority of people, if you bring out a product or if you bring out products that are worthy of the money, they're going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So if you think that, I understand you feel highly of your certain titles, that's fine. But at the end of the day, your games depreciate faster than Xbox games.
That is true. That's true. They hit the bargain bin.
They hit the bargain bin in a month. They hit bargain bin in 3 months. That shit. God of War Ragnarok by the time we get to spring, summer of next year, with God of War Ragnarok is going to be $9, $9 to $19. It will be $19. It will be $20 max. And games like where they talk about like Forza is still going to be $40. Grounded is going to still be $40. Sea of Thieves is still going to be 30 to $40.
Multiplayer games, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. So to me, it's like you keep on trying. And that's why they're changing their strategy about saying, well, we'll put our multiplayer games day and date. Oh, okay, all right, that's cool. But then for customers though that aren't understanding your strategy, they're going to be looking at that sideways too. They'll be like, well, damn, why God of War? Why Spider-Man? Why this ain't here day one? Why is this new? Why the Final Fantasy 17, whatever? Why is these games not here day and date? That's because if you put those games out, then then consumers are going to be looking like, well, then why don't you put these games out too? So I mean, hell, and then you'll start attracting, and you'll get those 2 million, and you'll get more, and you'll get more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Like I said, I think they, from their process, they think I guess, that they'll generate way more money this way, but I don't know how they will when those games depreciate the way that they do. Now, there was something that Don told me that was really interesting, and it made a lot of sense, where he says this is the reason why they added the $10 price, because even when those games hit GameStop, or if they when they depreciate, it's only depreciating by that $5, or so actually they give them a little bit more time to depreciate, so therefore they could still maximize getting that extra $5 or that extra $10 that they're trying to do. Otherwise, than like that game being 60, and then that game's going to drop to 50, going to drop to 40, going to drop to 30, whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So if that game, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I was expanding it until the summer. That game is going to be about $20. Because normally when a lot of people bought God of War and shit like that when it was $9, when Spider-Man was $10. Like, hell, that's what happens. I mean, that's not to berate or talk bad about single player games, but that's just the reality. Once those games stay on the shelf for a while, they're dropping. The only games that don't are Nintendo games, because Nintendo just knows what to do with that. And even on occasion, they will drop it by $15, $20 at the max.
And that only lasts a few days.
And that only lasts that long. Nintendo can get away with that, but shit, PlayStation and Xbox can't get away with that. Once that game is at a certain point, it's over. Like Starfield is going to be $70, maybe not at that point. I think the $70 games will probably come sometime next year. I don't know when, but they will.
Yeah, I think so too.
Eventually.
I think
And
Starfield might be 70 because that might be a later.
start
It's Steam,
right.
though, but if you have Game Pass, it's different.
Well, but this is the thing, though, right? Right. The Game Pass will make a difference, but this is another thing too about that. But Starfield, regardless of how big that game is, by the time it hits summer, that shit gonna be about $30. So, you know what I'm saying? You can go get, or just go spring sale. That shit gonna be about $35. So
we talked about it
that's
before,
it,
because
because it's a single player game.
There's people that don't have Game Pass and they just got gold, and they'll just straight up buy it.
Yep. So yeah, that's it. That's my point on that. So like, you know, the 2 million, put your games in day and date, man, or at least your bigger titles. Not like Recore and the other game, the Ratchet and Clank and Stray and Sifu and all those games suffered because they weren't day and date. Put those type of games in there day and date, and then you can hold out your other bigger titles for at least 3 months. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do 6 months, that's fine. But it should but those games should release on PC 3 to 6 months after those games release, because then the want for those games are still hot. By the time that you wait a whole year or even go further than that, people like, oh, I'll get that shit, but shit, I'll get it on a sale, or people will just burn it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense to me. Their thought process about how they're doing it, they're going to have to change that structure. That's me. Long story being short, man.
I got you, bro. I got you, man. Let's see. So, Sir X-Man, you asked to be, put in last on this, man. So, the price of the PSVR 2, $550.
I got it all.
And the fact of PlayStation Plus losing 2 million subscribers after they revamped that service, man. What are your thoughts, bro? Oh no.
Let me explain the hustle that y'all just went through. So Sony was trying to convince you that it was Game Pass comparable. Oh, we're gonna beat Game Pass. This is gonna be the Game Pass killer. But you fell for the okie doke. All they were doing is giving you a few games with their $15 version to stream now with your Game Pass, with your, what do you call it? Sony Plus thing.
PS Plus.
But then, PS Plus thing. But then $18, you got a few more games where, okay, now I can download a few games, but but I still got to stream about 80% of the games still. You saw that don't work too good with Sony's system. You still got to be waiting in the damn lobby. So you got the okie doke. So pretty much you're paying more in the end than you were. So a lot of people said, okay, I'm not really getting shit out of this. Then Call of Duty come out all of a sudden. Bam, you lost 2 million subscribers. You'd rather buy the game because you realize the money that you keep given to Sony every month, $18, wasn't worth it. It's not Game Pass. But you got fooled again. So pretty much you gave Sony a whole bunch of money when you probably didn't even play the subscription in the first place. Get your money worth.
Sir X-Man, I just want to say, with thinking about this, like, a lot of people talk about PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, and I don't think that's a proper comparison, because what PlayStation did was they took PlayStation Now.
I know what they did.
And they rolled it into PlayStation Plus. Now, PlayStation Plus, you need to be able to play games online, right?
I know that already.
So,
we all know that.
So the comparison would be Game Pass and Xbox Live rolled together in comparison to PlayStation Plus. And the thing that's
let me finish.
Well, hold on. But the thing that surprises me is, since PlayStation Plus is used to be able to play games online, that's what surprises me, that they lost 2 million subscribers, because that means that 2 million people, when it comes to the Call of Duty that just came out and stuff like that, didn't really give a shit about that and decided that they weren't going to
They
pay for that
still have
service
to have
anymore.
regular PlayStation Plus to play that game.
But the PlayStation Plus numbers are all rolled together in that tier system. The bottom line PlayStation Plus is to be able to play games online like Call of Duty
No,
and stuff like that.
what they said, bot, is they lost they lost 2 million subscribers from their higher tier of PlayStation
That's
Plus.
not what I saw. Is that true? Anybody else can verify that?
They're still holding PlayStation Regular Plus for $60 a year or $9 a month. They still have that. The people are still there. They won't be able to play online or their other things without it. What happened is the higher tiers of PlayStation Plus up to the premium is the one where people reverted back to regular
Now,
PlayStation Plus.
I hear what you're saying, but I
But
gotta
the way
say, I
Sony
don't
does
think
it,
you're
they
right
set
on
it up
this.
as
I don't think.
subscribers.
Yo,
They
before
put
you
themselves
keep
in
going,
that world.
before you keep going, Sir X Man, I want to
Mhm.
explain why I feel that you're not actually accurate on that. They said
Okay.
since they changed to the tier system, PlayStation Plus lost 2 million subscribers. So what they're talking about is all of PlayStation Plus, all the tier, like literally that's the core one as well. That's being able to play online as well. They saying they lost 2 million subscribers to that.
Oh, so that means that they're up to 45 million subscribers now because they were at 47 million subscribers. I don't get it.
I guess so. But that's what surprised me about that. I'm like, oh, hold on, because they rolled PS Now into PlayStation Plus and created a tier system. I'm surprised that they lost 2 million subscribers that basically lost the ability to play online on their PlayStation
And their cloud saves.
and their cloud saves. They lost 2 million people that now can't do that.
So this is what I'm thinking what happened. A lot of people, I said this might happen. Nobody listened to me when they started this thing. They wanted to get out of the PlayStation Plus tier thing, and Sony said, no, you can't do that. You can't revert back. Nobody listened to me. And so because they weren't able to revert back, they probably lost everything. And Sony said, oh, you have to start a new account.
That sounds accurate. I think I've heard people say that. Like D, she said that. And other people that said, I think that you're right, Sir X Man. Definitely,
I told
that's
people. I was on your show. We were on the show when I asked that question. Remember when I said, okay, so if people subscribe to this, will they be able to revert back, or will Sony just stop your subscription? Remember I said that shit, K-Mega?
Yeah, no, like you gotta start up
And
because
nobody believes me.
And people get pissed off because they lost their saves as well. And I don't. Some people get their saves back, other people don't.
Yep.
It's according, I guess, how fast you renew your service.
Right. And the clock, and Sony doesn't know from what I hear, from what D said, and even what Rob said, Sony doesn't let you know your clock.
No, they don't let you know.
You know, and even if you go to customer service, they don't even know your clock. So when it just runs out on you and it lapses because you stop it, you don't renew, you get screwed. Microsoft gives you at least, I hate to say, I've seen people come back after 2 months. All you got to do is just pay your gold up, and they keep you at that clock because you got a 2-month grace. Sony don't give you that kind of grace. So when these people said, okay, I don't like this service, it's not for me, they probably kicked them all out and said, look here, you're going to have to make a new name. You lost all your game saves. You lost all the games that you purchased. You lost everything.
That's right. They did give people a deadline to when they switched over. They said it was going to be free, but then there was problems. If you remember, Bot, and everybody on the panel, you remember that they were having problems with some people and then Sony said that they would make it right for some of those people. I don't know if they made it right or not, but that was a problem at that point in time. And if they lost 2 million, then that could be like 2 million people that weren't paying attention to getting their notification through their email or whatever, and then they shit lapsed, and then that was it.
Or they wanted to back out of the premium service or the second tier, and then Sony didn't have no fix for that to drop them like Microsoft do. If you drop out, you can go back to regular gold. It's not hard.
Yeah, like that would make sense where people are saying, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Trex, man, but
it's cool, bro. We on the same page. Go for it.
But I think that, but the issue I think is,
go ahead, no problem.
Right, but I think the issue is that like when people, because there were people that paid, like there were people getting pissed off saying, "Man, I paid my subscription for the year,
right?"
And then Sony is telling me that I still owe this much, and then you might get people that just got pissed off and say, "Man, fuck that! I'm not paying anything else." Because I already paid my 60 for the year. So
remember, if they had to pay
that could be part of it too, right?
If they had to pay that
extra,
they're like, oh no, you can't stack.
If they wanted, and if they came back and wanted to bounce back down to the 60 a year, then Sony would have been sitting on all that money, and they didn't want to do no refund on it or just extend their time with the new goal.
Now, I thought Sony said that they were going to make it right, but that part I don't know. So that part I don't know if they did it or not, and so that could be part of the $2 million that they lost. That could be absolutely right.
And these kind of fuck ups are so Sony. They are so Sony. Dude. But does anybody? I don't hear nobody really bitching about it. They talk about it a little bit and graze around it, but they don't talk about the detailed situations that this problem might have occurred from Sony's account end. They don't talk about that. They just said 2 million people dropped out. Why did they drop out? What were the reasons? What were the situations? You have, I'm sure Sony sent out an email to them saying, well, we're sorry, but why did you leave PlayStation and stuff like that? If that was what happened. But if that wasn't what happened, what are the details how you all of a sudden lost 2 million subscribers? Because they probably wanted to revert back to the regular. That's my opinion on that. But you people, you're out there and you're not talking about it like you should, or bitching about why is this happening. That's on y'all. We got it clear on Xbox. Like I said, we revert back. They say come back when you want to. Your gold is taken care of.
I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and check the Crossfire titles for like the previous month.
You're about to bring that up tomorrow, Crossfire, since I put it in your brain, didn't you?
To see if they had talked about that while I wasn't on the show, man. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't talk about it last week. They didn't talk about it. They didn't bring it up.
That's interesting.
Now,
I wonder why. I wonder
on the VR thing. I knew that sucker was gonna cost as much as the PlayStation 5.
Yep.
It's not a bad. If you're getting better performance and high-end VR performance, y'all gonna get freaked out. I can understand the price.
Okay, but what about no backwards compatibility?
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, okay.
There's hey Crispy, there's a multiplayer game in VR that people just play religiously. I just want to let you know Sony does have a multiplayer game.
Oh shit.
It is Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Oh no.
These people stream it not Star Trek Online, Star Trek Bridge Crew. It's one of the most popular games on the PlayStation 4. I see people stream it all the time. They stream it on Twitch. They stream it on YouTube all the time. It is the biggest Sony, nobody ever talks about VR game that gets played continuously. But since you did not make it backwards compatible, you're cutting out the new people on the PS5. That's why a lot of them still have PS4s, because they still play that game. So if you didn't make that backwards compatible with the new system automatically, of course you're going to make another one to charge more. Of course you are. A lot of people are not going to buy your VR headset that plays that game at the initial launch of it until you either add it on or let people go to PC to play it, because that game is cross-play with PC. and you're killing yourself. Like everybody said, you're killing yourself and you're putting yourself out the box. You know, and eventually people are going to get tired of you not liking backwards compatibility. Your whole thing, remember, well, we don't need backwards compatibility over here in Sony. Well, guess what? Yes, you do.
Yo,
our old games will still carry over to the next system that gets made.
Yo, Sir X-Man, I just checked the game that you're talking about in Play Tracker. So Star Trek Bridge Crew, right? In terms of a popularity score, it's got 9 out of 10.
I told you, that's up there.
Estimated players about 874,000, and estimated active players right now is about 200,000.
For a VR game,
That's
pretty fucking good.
That's good for a VR game. Average total playtime, like per active player, is almost 3 hours per session.
Yes, sir.
Holy crap, dude! That is popular right there, bro. You are not lying.
Yeah, and you're cutting those people out by not making it backwards compatibility on the PS5. They have no choice but to keep their PS4 until you cross that over. That should have been one of your backwards compatibility
and charge $70 for it, bro.
Probably. Oh yeah, they say they're gonna be paying $70 to $60 for a VR game, which normally is about $40 to $50. So, you fell for the okie again, and you guys are falling for the hustle. If Sony players want to be like that, let me sell you some shit that's expensive that really doesn't do you any good. Come on, let me make some money.
He's like, I can invent some technology for you to use. Come on.
Yeah,
I'll overcharge you for it. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll do you a Nintendo, man. I'll make you a cardboard box and tell you it's VR,
man. So go ahead, Sir X.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. He said, I will sell you cardboard. Yeah.
I was wondering why Pred left.
But they do have
Pred said he had to go.
Yeah. So. But they do have another VR game out there that is multiplayer. I forgot the name of it. But I hear it's really good. Not as many people play it as Bridge Crew. But you're canceling it out so many people that you got hooked on VR, dude. And you're doing it to yourself again. I'm done. And that was actually kind of clean. I really didn't use any profanity, K Mega.
That was good. That was good.
He saves that exclusive for your show.
I kept it, yeah. Well, K Mega sometimes runs a little bit later at night, so you can get away with a little bit more.
No, not really. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. I just wanted to state something that nobody really paid attention to about the subscribers, dude. Because that situation, it really is so Sony. Ain't that right, K Mega?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, they have to eventually have it to be portable to PC. They have to.
They got a choice.
They don't have a choice in the matter. Maybe this is one of those things where they're just trying to test to see the strength of the PlayStation market with this VR. Maybe that's what it is, and then they'll eventually, like in the next few months, get a add-on that they'll charge people to hook it up to PC.
If they hadn't been smart, they would have made it PC compatible at the jump, because that would have maybe convinced some of those PC people, this ain't bad. Let me give me a PS5 and see what it's like over there. It's true. Like people that play Game Pass on PC, right?
Right.
And they play some of those hot games. That convinces a lot of them to go get themselves an Xbox for the front room to play them games that they got on Game Pass when they don't feel like being on a PC. That psychology is working for Microsoft. Sony doesn't see that psychology, because they too much living in the past.
That's why they see it. They're just taking their time with it. They're a little bit behind. Remember, they can't do shit overnight. So
not for anything, but I really got to check out like the accuracy of Play Tracker because I just looked up Halo Infinite as well, and it says as of recently, since the update came out, 4.7 million active players.
Does that surprise you? That's fucking amazing.
Oh,
my buddy wants to play co-op right now.
Yeah. It's not just multiplayer; it's multiplayer
well,
and
but it's Forge.
campaign.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Forge. Yeah, Forge.
As well.
Forge is. Forge brings people back, man. I'm like I said, I'll be back. I'm just trying to finish this game.
Some team deathmatch maps and such in Forge. Like I used to
Don was building one while I was talking to him last night. He was making a map underwater.
They
never learned to swim.
And he said that they have the Halo, and he said that they had the Halo 5 Master Chief in there. So which means I'm like, well, we can probably try to get Lock in there, right? We can try to get that going. So.
Save Team Lock, baby. Save Team Lock.
Yeah,
anyway,
that could be that could be a Saturday game night right there, K-Mega.
Oh yeah, it could.
If you finish with Persona by then.
Right. I don't know if I'll be done by Saturday, but I'm gonna try.
You can space out for a quick second to play some Halo with everybody. Man.
I don't know.
Yo,
we'll even get Xbox
when it comes to like
get Xbox to play. Even Crispy will play, right, Crispy?
Wow, he just threw Crispy in there. He just like threw him right in there. Like, yeah, right, Crispy, you'll play, right?
Crispy, you'll play with us, right, Crispy?
You gonna carry me?
I'm looking for somebody to carry me. That's what Xbox for.
Well, there you go.
Supposed to be the Halo killer.
Damn.
There's your answer.
Speaking of Friday night, freaking shout out to Eternal Umbra, J-Rock, and that whole crew because Friday night they're doing a community game night for Halo Infinite, and man, they get the crowd popping over there. It's a lot of fun, like people talking shit and stuff like that, man. It's
oh, they do it. You've been in the room when Noof has one, dude, a game night, and all them.
Now, I love Noof to death, and I love like the community he has that comes over there. The one thing that like I laugh my ass off about is when Noof gets pissed off about the game, man, because he is a fucking rager. He is such a rager. Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, shout out to Noof, man. That's my homie right there.
Oh, I love it I hate it when Noof gets on a rampage about one person, then he just sticks and just tries to kill that one person, man.
Oh yeah. Like he gets blinders on, his eyes turn red, man. Like he just goes. Like it's like, damn, calm down. Noof, you sound so cool and calm and collected when you're on podcasts, doing your whole Arnold's thing and all that good stuff, man. But he's got that rage switch when he starts gaming, bro. Oh,
it's like me. I try to stay away from Scrub Nurse because Scrub Nurse is lethal. He is fucking lethal, dude. He will shoot you and like, where the fuck did you shoot me from?
Shout out to him. Noof and his crew. Tushy, which they kind of combine.
Mr. Tushy, yeah, I know. They always do.
Freaking, and of course, like I said, Infinite Umbra, J-Rock and them, man. There's so many people in the community. It is so good to see everybody coming together and just having a good time, man. It's a lot of fun, yo. But, on that note, I think we're pretty much done, guys. I think
yeah, we are done. Let's get the hell out of here.
A quality show.
Ain't that a bitch?
A quality show tonight. Yo, shout out to Master Clown, man, getting in with the chat. Yo, shout out to RG Viper as well. Our brother, going back to school and stuff, man. So we got student RG Viper
and regular on GRG now.
What happened?
And he's a regular on GRG.
I guess so. Now. I don't. As I am the GRG. I am.
Oh God! Here we go.
Myself as the nurturer of podcaster.
He's doing pretty good though, man. He's doing pretty good.
What's up with these dudes in the community just inviting themselves and then making them regulars?
I don't know. I mean, Livewire was the first one to do it. Then it just kind of moved. It spawned over. Fonzarelli came on, and then it was The 100 kind of just came on, said he was going to do a couple, then he stayed. Then it was then
108.
No, well, 108, 108, 108,
He was
108.
there from the beginning, right?
No, he wasn't there from the beginning, but he asked to come on, so I was like, yeah, and then I asked him if he wanted to come. It was kind of a mutual thing with him solo. But yeah, but so many other people, that came in there and like just did that. So like, they get started and then they start a podcast of their own and then they kind of leave the nest. So I say, I am the podcast nurturer. They're on the K Mega Teat for a little while. And then, I'm saying,
If I had to change schedule, I would have still been there.
And then, and then
if you're the nurturer of all these podcasts and all these podcasters,
I am. Hey man, I got a nice brand. I got a nice brand. Check out a nice tree.
Does that make me like the granddaddy of it all? Then
pretty much.
You still can make some residuals. You still can make some residuals. That's the problem.
Well, no, I mean, because no, I have to give them props. I mean, we gotta get the hell out of here, but I have to give Bot props. I mean, because at the time, people wanted me to be guest, but they weren't. They were, because I'm too outspoken. I don't kiss nobody's ass. So therefore, they were like,
that's why I wanted you on the show, bro.
Yeah, K Mega, do you agree with us, K Mega?
Fuck no.
Let me tell you why.
No. So but Bot said he had an idea for a podcast, and then he asked me for some ideas. I gave him some, but for the most part, all the work and everything that was done in the next podcast, it was him. You know what I'm saying? But we kind of got it together, and then Don, he introduced me to Don, and then there was Fusky and Newark, and I kind of already knew Newark from other people, from like Black Spartan and from
Facebook,
Simeon and them,
well, right?
And Facebook and shit like that. Yes, but Fusky and them, no, I didn't know them, and then
we had a nasty crew that nobody really knew besides us.
I've been watching all y'all since the beginning, and I say Bob was the one that started the videos and the thing, and nobody gives him no fucking credit.
It was two guys at Quarters that started it, and Bot inherited it, and then everybody else started going for it. Because I knew when I was doing it's Four Guys with Quarters.
Four Guys with Quarters did not do gameplay. No, they did slides with JPEG.
Well, yeah, but they did it. But the visual look, nobody was doing that at the time.
No, everybody else. Was hang out.
Did the gameplay, and then I knew when I started GRD, even though people was against it, but I was like, I'm not going to stop until I get that, because that was something that I definitely wanted to do. Because it also proved the point that we were playing games. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, all that bullshit. So,
gameplay. Nobody's going to be like, well, you don't play games.
Right. So
the only thing that they have left to say, in their opinion, is you don't play good games.
Now,
and it's like, well,
now everybody's now most podcasts is doing it, and then they adding their own little style and taste to it. So, so it feels good when people acknowledge me as like a godfather of this YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy that. I love seeing the people. It doesn't matter if they got more views than me or not, but it's more the thing to me is like,
you enjoy yourself.
I'm enjoying myself. I love it. I love the Xbox community growing like the way they are.
Real recognize real, brother. Real recognize real. You know what I'm
saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, because there was a lot of Xbox ass kissers when they first started coming into the fold. You know what I mean? And I was like, I can't rock with that. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? I need some more Xbox people, men and women that had some sterner stuff. And so now we're starting to see it. So I'm proud of you guys. Have some backbone. Don't sit there and let no PlayStation stand come and tell you, you're right, Xbox has no game. Shut your bitch ass up and get your ass in there and turn on your PlayStation. Get out of here. We don't need you. We need some people with some sterner stuff. All right, let's get out of here, man. What am I doing?
Man. Guys, again, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We are here every Thursday, but like the saying goes.
Oh shit! Viper said, "Do I have any more milk?" I'm pretty dry, but now it's been a while.
Damn.
So you know what I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying. There's been a lot of these suckers that's been on the K Mega Teat. No, I'm playing.
Oh damn!
Shout out to them,
bro. Like I was saying, like a 40-year-old with a comb over. It is time to get those plugs in. I'm gonna start with the OG. I'm gonna start with our brother, somebody who still has yet to play a round of the new golf game with me, and I'm a little upset about that. It is Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man, why don't you let people know where they can go to talk games with you? Where you're gonna be. Are you gonna be working tomorrow, or you're trying to get in on GRG? What's going on with Sir X-Man, bro?
Well, I'm off tomorrow because I took a day off, so I'll be on GRG tomorrow.
God damn it!
So,
Hey, Megan, did you know that? Though? Did you? Know
I did not know that. I did not know
I
that.
told your ass last week. Shut
I
up.
said all the nice shit to get him thought he was done.
Yeah.
I even hit you with
He
the.
said, "I
with
take
the
it all
live.
back, motherfucker."
Hey, I even hit Can Make a Show sometimes with the live on air frog.
At work, full call from work.
He wants you to question everything.
Live from work broadcast. But I'll be on GRG tomorrow. I'm off. Whenever you can find me, whenever I find time to play, I'm working on that. I'm getting better at that. You can find me at Sir X-Man on PC. Sir X-Man with the spaces on Xbox. I try not to pay attention to Twitch so much, but if you Twitter thing, since Elon Musk took over the bullshit. So
I don't see any difference.
You can find me on there. Sir X-Man, I'll wait till he starts charging you $8 a month.
Nah, I ain't gonna pay for a check mark, bro.
I know, right? Thank you. And you can find me at Sir X-Man 1 on Twitch when I find time to stream some stuff. Trust me, I miss streaming games and talking to you guys. So that's about it. See you on GRG tomorrow. And tomorrow you're gonna get the R-rated version.
Oh no.
Of the throat rant. All right, we're good.
Guys, just be feel blessed that you're not getting the X-rated version when it comes down to it. So
I was clean today, wasn't I?
Yeah, dude. I love the part where you were begging to go last on the topic, though. You're like, no, can I please? No, let me go.
Oh,
last.
I told you I was ready to let it out, bro. I would go play because I thought about something nobody else
did. You held
did.
it all in for GRG tomorrow, and now K Mega knows. K Mega knows now.
Oh, I got more. I got more.
He's prepping himself.
Nice.
I want my buddy Crispy to be there with me in battle.
In battle for what?
Is he? Mega, is he now inviting guests as well?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
he always said whenever Crispy wanted to jump in, he could come on in, and he.
I know, like, and then I'll jump in when I want.
Mega, what's going on with these up and comers, man? It's like they ain't got no respect.
They ain't got no respect. They just inviting who they want to, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, I had Optimus on there. How many damn next podcast people you went out playing?
Optimus was wild that day, but oh my God.
Optimus has been wild, bro. Optimus has definitely been wild. It is good to see
fucking angry otter. What are we talking about here?
It's good to see him kind of not be like, because when he first started, he was kind of shy and everything like that, man. But to see him kind of like come out of his shell and shit like that.
You know why?
As long as his internet works.
You know why he came to GRG? Because nobody would let him talk on Crossfire. I heard the whole thing.
Oh.
I always love when Optimus starts skipping. And I'm like, bro, I can't understand what you're saying.
Oh shit! Yeah, when one of the two gerbils that runs his internet decides it's gonna take a rest real quick from the wheel.
Y'all are disrespectful, man. I don't even know what to think about.
Hey, you forgot Optimus's
that's a California love, baby.
You forgot Optimus's thing when he was on your show last week too. I forgot that thing that you used for Optimus. You're such a lucky bastard. You didn't say that last week.
That's not how it goes. We're trying to get out of here. Would you shut the hell up?
Well, Big Mega, your outros are next, man. What's going on with your show?
I'm out, man. Come and check out GRG. I don't have no clue who's gonna come. What? You know what I'm saying? I just
tune in to find out, basically.
Just tune in to find out. You know what I'm saying? I know Ham will be there. Loke, he was supposed to come, but he's so frustrated. He don't want to let his inner fanboy come out. So, you know what I'm saying? He might show up.
Who's supposed to come?
Well, no. Loke. He's really cool dude. He's from Mozambique.
Well, the
for
funny thing
Africa.
was, I thought you said Newark at first. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no! I've been trying to talk Newark to come in there to come on and do a podcast either here or on GRG. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. So, like I said, I ain't gonna be like Sir X-Man. I'm not gonna be long. Just come and check out GRG 8 p.m. Central. I promise it won't be a long terrorizing show because me and my wife gonna go see Black Panther, and I'm gonna get the hell off, and I gotta still try to beat Persona. So you know what I'm saying. We ain't gonna be all night. So bear with me. I know I haven't been streamed in over a month. I'm just trying to get done with Persona, and when I get done with that, I will be back. Fight Night will be back for sure.
Why didn't you stream Persona?
I will be back to stream it. I should have. I don't because I have not streamed a single player game
he was
like
afraid,
all the way through, but I need to do it. I'm playing on hard too. I'm playing shit. I'm going through it. So I just haven't. But Gotham Knights was supposed to be my first game that I'm going to do. And that's going to be the first game that I'm going to stream. That's a single player game. Like I've done God of War and shit like that a couple of times, Ghost of Tsushima, but it's not been from beginning to end. It's just a little bit just to show people what the game looks like. But the next time that I do a single player game, it's going to be from beginning to end. So that's what I'll do. But Fight Night and shit will be back. I definitely am going to do it. I got a procedure to come Monday, so that's why I don't know if I'm going to do Fight Night. I gotta go to the hospital and get an operation.
You can even do like
Monday morning.
Even if it's like not live streams, man. Like if you could do like a Rad Brad.
No, Fight Night
no,
is better
I'm talking
than
about for your single player games. Like you know what I'm saying?
Oh
yeah.
That
You do
that
the
could be too. Yeah,
commentary
that's
while
true
you're
too.
recording it, and then you put it out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like do the whole Rad Brad scenario. I think that could be some cool kind of like newer content on your channel, bro.
Yeah, that is true. I could do that. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I'm definitely going to get everything in gear. I just a lot of medical shit that I'm trying to get taken care of. So hopefully I'll be almost done with all this stuff. Hopefully by next year.
My mind ain't right yet. Medication ain't working, so he's gotta get
you goddamn right. So if somebody act a fool, I might have to get this red clay might get buried under it. Anyway, but thank you guys for coming checking us out, man. I'll be here next week, man.
Nice, bro. Nice. And of course we got Crispy Bob. Never ceases to surprise me on every single episode of the next podcast. Yo, Crispy, what is going on with you, man? I know you were an exclusive this week. What's going on for next week? Is it back to regular schedule? What's up, man?
I do believe, and don't worry, I'll keep it really short.
I
swear. I swear I will. At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28, Xbox Live. Find me at Retro Renegades Tuesday night, 7 p.m. We got Primetime Gaming, 7 p.m. Wednesday. And of course, back here on the next podcast, 8 p.m. Thursday. Prime time, baby. We'll see you then.
Nice. And again, thank you to everybody in the chat, all the supporters. Thank you so much for coming here every Thursday, supporting the channel, supporting the show. I definitely appreciate it. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. I am working on putting more content onto this channel. I'm working. I want to try to do a couple different things when it comes to gaming news, gameplay, stuff like that. So you definitely want to subscribe, and you want to be here when all of that stuff kicks off. But thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you next Thursday for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, say nothing crazy. No craziness. No.
Motherfuckers.
Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around.